All right. All right. Mhm. All right. All right. We are live. Yeah. We are live. We're live. We're live. Yo, welcome in to the live stream. Welcome to Track Talk, officially episode 10, although we've been doing this for like 3 years. Listed on YouTube, this is officially episode 10. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all hopping in. If you have never been here before and you are coming into the Track Talk stream for the first time, or maybe you're fairly new to the community, let me explain a little bit about the structure of this live stream. These are 20 to 30 minute long form consultations. Jim, welcome in. 20 to 30 minute long form consultations on the structure of your mix and master, production elements, sound design, song and lyric structure, so on and so on. So we are going to spend 20 to 30 minutes going through your track 2 to 3 times, multiple times through the song to get into the details of those elements and hopefully, ideally, offer some very specific, professional, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. If that sounds interesting to you at all, I'd be honored to give your music a listen. Would love to get you up on the board for a consultation. AJP, welcome in. Carl, thank you so much for being here. Absolutely, 100%. Dev, is it Dev Heaton, 100%. Yeah, you can send in covers, all different genres, all different levels of preparedness. The structure of this live stream is pretty broad in that sense. We will listen to all different styles of music. In fact, we'll hear quite a bit of variety when it comes to the structure and the style and genre of music that we hear here. We're gonna hear people that have just started out in what they're doing, and we're gonna hear people that are very far along in their journey, and everything in between. If you would like to submit your music on any of the platforms, if you're on TikTok, just follow the steps that are right here on the screen. Go to my profile, click on the link, and you'll see all of the details that you need right there to submit for a full consultation. If you're on YouTube, go to my description, and if you're on Twitch, hit !submit right there in the chat, and you'll see everything that you need in order to submit your music for a consultation. And for those of you who don't know, if you're maybe coming in here for the first time, or it's your first time seeing me and seeing this live stream, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. It's what I do for a living. I've done that for 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So if you are wanting to get into the details and the nuance of your music, that is the platform that we have here, and that is the structure of this particular live stream. It is not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. It is a really detailed long-form consultation to hopefully give you the tools you need to improve and polish on the structure of your music. Wazoo, welcome in. AJP, thank you so much for hopping in. Give me 1 second to get a few things rolling here. There we go. Let's jump in here. Hold on one moment. But yeah, you can absolutely send covers, 100%. And let's try to get to let's wake up the algorithm. Let's try to get to 1,000 likes, y'all. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people, and we'll hopefully get things rolling here in just a little bit. Let's see. Let's get this updated here. One moment. Let's go. Life Explosion. Welcome in, man. I just saw that you messaged me a minute ago. I need to go check over on Instagram. I've been busy in the studio today, moving some things around, trying to get ready to sell a bunch of stuff. Actually, too much snow. Called out Target today. That's a nice excuse. That's a nice excuse. That's a nice little snow day. Nice little snow day for Life Explosion. But yeah, I just saw a minute ago that you messaged on Instagram. I just haven't been on Instagram much right now. I need to hop over there and check out what's going on. But yeah, I'm trying to consolidate what I have here in the studio. I was given a bunch of stuff, and I've traded for a bunch of stuff, and it's too messy in here now, and so I need to sell some things and consolidate into some higher quality gear. That's what I'm looking to do. But y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Make sure you send in your heart rate for the day. It does help boost the live. It also gives you more exposure if you're sending in your music for a consultation. So make sure that you are just checking the boxes, checking the steps there, and we'll get moving with some music here in just a little bit. Nail's in the building. What's up, Nail? Nail official. Appreciate you hopping in. Or no? Oh, is it Nalia? Nalia? Am I saying? Sorry, I couldn't read it from this far away. Is it Nalia? I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. Thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. It's most back in videos sent long time. Parts I like on J-Ron. Parts I like when. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Because I need to make sure, because I'm in the process of going through, I think it's Romans. I'm not as familiar with their names. I'm pretty sure it's J Romans, pretty sure. And they're and try to find like where I could cut the timing stuff. Like I'm trying to figure some of that out because I think that's the next verse I'm gonna have in there. And I think the three rap verses I have, I think are Patrick. Welcome in, Patrick. How you feeling today? Are KJ's, Romans, Trills, and then I have a verse I think from Sam, or it's like a bridge from Sam. I'm pretty sure, and I think that's what I have. I need to double check all the files that I have. Glitch is in the building. What's up, Glitch? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the heart, me, Livy. I appreciate that so much. What's going on, Glitch? I hope you're doing fantastic today, man. Good to see you in here. How y'all feeling? Let's see what's going on here. It's all glitchy. No pun intended. Let's see. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Once again, if you do want to submit for a consultation, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link. You'll see the steps there. If you're on Twitch, hit _ submit. If you're on YouTube, just go to my description for the live stream and you'll see all of the details for submitting right there. No pun intended. I was like, wait, it's glitchy right now. And then glitch hopped right in the chat. KJ, yes, J Roman, I like the part stops at light on the stage and Sam's is a second half. Okay, I got you. So those should be the three. I obviously have Sam's hooks. I have Trills pretty much done. Trills is pretty much locked in. And then I think those are the only other three parts, right? I'm going to bring over the other parts of the verse structure. Those should be, is that all? And mixed well with the second half of Trills at first. Trills, so I cut down like a couple words of Trills and his fits really good on its own right now. So I'm kind of thinking I'll leave that as is right now just because it's cohesive. It's going to feel a little bit muddy to chop that up, but I think the next verse I can flip into maybe two or just do three. If it's really just three verses, Sam, KJ, or Sam second half, KJ, and J Roman. So that's just three more and then Trill. So it's like 4 verses. We'll see. I'll just, where are theirs? I don't have theirs, do I? Because I've gone through all of my files and the Ada and Perez and Maria Jive Mine also have parts. Wait, so I don't have all the files? Because I went through all the files that you sent me. Unless you don't want to. Should I send? I want to make sure that we can also message through Instagram later. And Gold Nugget. Let me see. I have my files here. I can also do this offline. I'll work on some of this tomorrow, but I can pull up the files that I have on the desktop here. So let me see. Because I have everything downloaded and I have it all in a separate file on my computer. So it's all like organized. I try to keep everything locked away. Let's see. In Gold Nugget. Nova, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thank y'all so much for happening. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Hopefully we'll get moving with some consultations all day. Message me anytime. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll shoot you a message tomorrow. Let me double check something real quick. Let's see. Life explosion. There we go. Let's see. I have the ad libs. I have Trills layers. I have the original instrumental. I have some videos that I think are the things that you put together, but I can't use those. I can't use those in the song. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're referring to? I have, let's see, but I think those were like Romans. I have an MP4. I have a .mov. Spaghetti's in the building. What's up, Spaghetti? Welcome in. And then I have Sam. I got. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then the only other one I have 2 copies of Trills. So I'm wondering if you double sent that file. I'm wondering if you double sent that same file, because I have 1 copy of Trills on one. I have one copy of Trills from an email, and I have another copy of Trills on a WeTransfer. I'm wondering if you accidentally sent another copy of the same file folder instead of the other one that has theirs, because I don't have any of theirs. I just went through my entire. I have like 3 or 4 different WeTransfers here, and I don't have any of those in these. I checked all of them. I have all the yeah. Resend them, even if it's in a WeTransfer, and make sure I have all of those, because that means I haven't even heard any of those, so I don't even know how they fit. Okay, I'll double check. And you said some of them are just backgrounds and stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't even know what those sound like. Yeah, I was like, I was pretty excited. I was like, man, I have all of these organized. Trill and Sam are like largely done. Most of the beats been like formatted and mixed, for the most part. I was working on Roman's, trying to figure out his timing and fitting where, because his needs to be cut down quite a bit. I was looking at some of the other layers, Sam's vocal towards the end. I was like, okay, this is working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably spend tomorrow just going through those files, just so I can see where they're gonna fit, because that does change the order a little bit depending on their energy, their timing, and stuff like that. Hopefully it's, ideally it doesn't take that much longer, but I do need to figure out how they fit in. Yeah, I was like, hey, I got that first version out to you, and like everything else is starting to fall in place. I was like, okay, 3 more verses, those will be good. But now I do need to cut down. Now Trills is twice as long as everyone else's, so I got to figure that out. Let me see. I don't think I have KJ. Let me see. Trills verse, J Roman. I'm gonna run through this file real quick.
Man, you see, you gotta be the chain.
That's J, right? I have 2 of J. Yeah, I think there were some doubles. I think there were some double sends. Is that J? Because I think this is J. Yeah, that's J. So I have 2 of J's. I have a double of Trill, but they were sent at different times. So on one WeTransfer, I have Trill in 2 different files, but they're both J. They say different things. One says acapella, one says Roman. They're 2 different things, but they're both J's vocals. And these are directly from the WeTransfer. Let me get this other one. Those are just screen recordings. Let's get this other one. Those are just the instrumentals, and then another couple layers of Trills. Yeah, that's all I have. So it looks like all I have is Sam, Trill, and J. A couple layers of J, it looks like. A couple acapellas of J. Ronnie Hall's in the building. Yeah, so I've got Sam all the way through, because she recorded the whole track and the bridge at the end. So I have Sam, I have G Trill done, as you've heard. And I have J Romans. J Romans will be interesting. Yeah. Send. So if it's not those 3, send them all. Send the rest. So I need KJ. I need Nugget. I need all of the above. Send the rest in, and if you need to do it in a WeTransfer or a couple emails, I'll download them tomorrow. Jenna's in the building. Welcome in, Jenna. I'll download them tomorrow and go through them all, and hopefully I can start to organize that pretty quickly. Since most of the production is largely like done-ish, like it's pretty complete. It sounds really good. It's just about dropping in vocals now. I just got to figure out where they all fit, which parts of each of them fit, and stuff like that. Kimura, welcome in. Good to see you. How you feeling today, Kimura? Y'all, welcome into the live stream. Send me what you got. If y'all would like to submit for a consultation, hopefully we'll get moving with a few of them tonight. I don't want to be on too late, because I have we've got a long week of lots of consultations and lots of beautiful music we got to get to. But if you do want to send in for a consultation, a 20 to 30 minute deep dive into the structure of your music, go to my if you're on TikTok, go to my profile and click on the link. You'll see all the details right there on one of the top tabs. If you're on Twitch, hit !submit. If you are on YouTube, go to the description for the live stream and you'll see the link right there, and you'll see everything that you need. These are 20 to 30 minutes. These are long form consultations. I want to go deep into the song structure. It's not a quick review. I'm not just going to sit here and say, get a better mix, bro, have better energy, and then move on after 5-6 minutes. We're going to go deep into the structure of your music and get into the details, get into the nuances of it. So if that sounds interesting to you, then definitely get yourself up on the board. Good. Feeling good about the consultation you did on How I Can. I'm so glad to hear it. I'm so glad to hear it, Kimura. You've been putting in the work, so I'm very, very excited for the future of those records. And it always is so encouraging to me when people talk about how something about the consultation really did directly impact the quality of their music. So I'm very, very excited. Okay, it was sent but never downloaded. Says recoverable. So I downloaded the 3. 1, 2, 3. Because I went and searched. Did you happen to send it? Thank you so much, Kimura. I appreciate you. One giant email. Yeah. So I have, I think 3 or 4. 4. Let me double. I think I have 4 downloaded here. Wait. Hold on. I think it's labeled a different. I think it's labeled something different. Let me double check something. Yeah, don't worry about it. Let me double check something here. What's up, Neon? Welcome in. Let me double check something here because I have 4 weed transfers that have all been downloaded. So there's another double of Sam. Yeah, okay, well, hold on. It was under, for whatever reason, it was under a different name. It was under a different name. I think I have it. So I need to go through all, yeah, that was under a different file name. It wasn't under retransfer, and it wasn't under your name. I don't know why. Hold on. Yeah, here's another, yeah, geez, there we go. Yeah, there's another double of Sam, Fowler, Perez, Maria, KJ. What's up, Caden? Welcome in, dude. Welcome in over on Twitch. I appreciate you. Dude, I can't wait. Line is fresh. We just hopped on. And Jive Mind and Ashley. Okay. I got my work cut out for me. Cat's Music Journey, welcome in. How you feeling today? Welcome in. All right, it's gonna be a long day tomorrow. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I do have all of those. I'm gonna have to download those and drop them in and see how that fits in. Yeah, for whatever reason, it didn't save as a weed transfer. So I have 3 weed transfers and then one under a different. Just chorus 14. Okay, they sent like comps. That's always fun. I had another artist sent that where they sent me 37 vocal comps. I'm like, hey, you figure it out. And I'm like, that's not how this works. I need you to figure it out and I will mix it. But I'm not deciding your vocal comps for you. Yeah, so I'll yeah. Yeah, I was like, goodness, I don't know. Cause I was like, wait, this seems like we're getting towards the tail end. I was starting to drop in these last files. But yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense. I'll chip away at that tomorrow, and hopefully we can get into a good groove with that one. But I'm just gonna have to go through, like, the hardest part is just going through every artist, and trying to see how they're fit. But thankfully the beat is largely where it's gonna be, right? Like, it sounds the way it's gonna sound for the most part, outside of like final mixing, but most of the production is pretty well established and pretty good. So it's just about finding these vocals and then mixing 9 different vocals and figuring out how they fit in the mix. But y'all, thank y'all so much for hopping in too, but I'm glad I have that organized now. I renamed it so it's in the same file folder as everything else. That way I can keep, I'm like, dude, I usually keep everything very, very organized. And for whatever reason, it wasn't popping up with the other name. So I'm glad that I got that worked out, because that was the long messages come as well. What long messages? Is it it's in that same file? All right, let me make sure give me 1 second. I gotta refresh the emails and stuff over here. That'd be amazing, Kimura. That'd be amazing. That'd be dope. How many? I mean, it's been a fair chunk of songs at this point, especially early on. Yeah, do that. If it's not in the file, I'll check the file. Let me see. I mean, now I'm like, wait, I don't think there's anything else I'm missing. I wouldn't think there's anything else I'm missing. So let's see. Life Explosion. Yeah, because the file of everybody was named Fowler. That's amazing, Kimura. I love it. Pop Rock's in the building. What's up, Brett? Welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Sorry, y'all, got something in my eye. Okay. I have some movies in here. I've got a bunch of the files, 2 more movies, more files, another movie. No, there's no, Don Unk, welcome in. Good to see you as well. If you love Torvik, please. Brett, it's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Hope all is well as you're in is all is well in your camp. Just got 8 ads. Caden is brutal. Just a reminder that Amazon Prime takes care of all of that for free. If you have Prime, it does take care of it for free, or you can hop on over to YouTube as well. YouTube does sometimes do a little bit of a better balance to that stuff. I love to hear that you are writing more songs, Brett. Love to hear it. Neon the Bishop has a new track. Hold up. Let's go. Give me 1 second. Let me get all of this updated. All right, let me double check a few things real quick. Let me now that I got you, Caden. I got you. Let me get the list updated. Is that you that sent in Neon? Is it you that just sent in the 10? Let me know. Let me get the line updated. We got Lucas and CNO from yesterday. Beautiful. Got you. All right, let me get this updated. Then I'll throw up the line on the board. Let's see. And Caden, I got you, of course. Thank you so much for hopping in, man. CNO's cleared from yesterday. We got Neon. It's been a minute. Neon is fantastic music. I heard a song or a couple songs. Probably, was it a year ago at this point, man? I don't even know. Time is weird. I have no idea what time is. But it was fantastic. It's a really talented artist, band, vocalist across the board. All right, we got Caden in here. Let's go, Caden. Caden, let me get you up there. Beautiful. Finally sitting on some goodies. I love to hear it. Taking your time with it. Yeah, thank you. This is these are my festive my Christmas colors. It's about as festive as I can get in here right now. Colin Craft, welcome into the live stream. Thank you for joining. Let me get that in order. Line is up on the board. There we go. I'll take it. Welcome from Trinidad. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, if there's anyone that matters, it's that. So, I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. But y'all, please make sure y'all are tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send in your heartbeat for the day as well. Neon the Bishop with the roses. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and you'll see a Track Talk submission right there. If you're on Twitch, hit !submit. If you're on YouTube, go to the description and click on the details from there. Quick reminder that thank you so much for the hat and mustache. I appreciate it so much. Colin Craft, I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love and the generosity. That means so much to me. Okay, perfect. And then e-guitar player, thank you so much for hopping in. Colin Craft, I appreciate you so much. That means so much to me. I appreciate the generosity so much. I remember when the line was still on the whiteboard, when it was still back in the day in the studio, having to yank it back around to show everyone where the line is. I still have the small one. I still have both of them, actually. Maybe we'll bring it, hold on. Whoop, I'm breaking stuff. I don't want to break stuff. Maybe we gotta bring it back somehow. Maybe we gotta. Where'd the man go? It's chaos over here, y'all. These late night streams are not typical for me. They're kind of driving me nuts. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? My work schedule is all over the place. Thank you so much for the roses, Neon. I appreciate you. I gotta step by. Something told me. I know, man. I'm glad we got that worked out, because otherwise I was gonna send you a finished song and that was missing 8 artists. I was gonna be all excited in like 3 days. Like, dude, the master's here, and you'd be like, hey, where's the other 9 artists on the song? And that'd be tragic. Where the mans go? I'm back. Yeah, wait, it's late. No, dude, I started streaming at 10 yesterday. It's been crazy. But look, we still got the board. I think Libby did this in her boredom a couple months ago or something. We still got the trusty old board here. We gotta find a reason to bring it back. I need it. I have the guitars on this side. I can't really put it on this side. I got too much stuff in here. Don't do that, Life Explosion. That goes against everything I believe in. Don't do that. Yeah, like 6 months ago. I don't know. Will it even come off? I don't know. Oh yeah, it'll still come off. I was like, wait, if it's been 6 months, that shit's not going anywhere. Let me double check a couple things here. But yeah, the board still exists. You can't see it as much on TikTok, I guess. I can kind of bring it over here, but the board still exists. It's still there. And Age, you're welcome in. DJ Williams in the building. I know it will be satisfying. What's up, DJ Williams? Good to see you, man. We're 30 seconds away from getting into the music, y'all. Give me just 1 second. We're chatting, getting everything in. Let's go. Talk to me about it, DJ Williams. But yeah, it's still, it's still here. It's still here. We gotta figure out what to do with it. And then we still have the board. We gotta figure out some like fun challenges or some like, I don't know, some little like sub stuff to do. Maybe like some subscriber challenges or you know what I mean? Something like that. And we'll bring back the board because the board is fun. The board is fun. For those of you who don't know, maybe if you are here, that's so true. That's so true, actually. Gosh, that's why I love you. That's why I love you because of those kinds of. I'm just kidding. The synths do look better than the board, but we could do some kind of like subscriber challenges or something like that with the board. For those of you who don't know, if you have been here within the last like I don't know probably year and a half or so since we've had the board, this is where we used to have. I mean, the lines just boop. It's just right there because technology is great sometimes. Keep the board with the swirls for every galaxy. Write their name. Okay. Colin. Okay, Colin, let me double check for you too. Thank you so much. Let me get this updated. I like that idea. That's a good idea. You write their name on the board. I start. He's like, me first. It's right here on the screen. It's a little bit off center, but that's fine because it's optimized for Twitch and YouTube right now. So it's a little bit off center, but you get the idea. Right now it is 10 on, 25 is next. 10 on, 25 is next. Let me double check for Colin really quick. Give me 1 second. I just got to get everything updated here. So yeah, just 2 on the board, or about to get 3 on the board. So let's get Colin. I got you. Oh no, you're totally good. I know how it is. Or would a thick one be better? Pause. I feel so stupid. Would a thick one be better? Like why am I doing that? Okay, Colin, let me get this up here. Take your time. I don't want you to accidentally send like 15 of them or something. Yo! Life explosion with the galaxy. Okay, hold on. I gotta get my shit together over here. Okay, hold on. I gotta get my shit together here because we're apparently moving. UFC, Marshmallow, Flo Rida, and Mac Miller's producer. Let's go, DJ Williams. Come on. Is that what you're sending in? Shout out to the family. Life explosion. I love and appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the galaxy. Because he came up with the idea. That's true. We could double up. Okay, give me 1 sec. I gotta update some things here. Let me get Colin on the board. We got Colin with the 10. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you so much. I got Colin up there. We got Neon the Bishop. We got Caden in the building. And then Colin, make sure that you send it to the email at that same link. 10 hours later. Let's see. I got to get all this updated. I've got Neon's email. I have Caden's email. Oh yeah. So the same place, Colin, the same place that you sent that credit right there. Above that, you'll see the Track Talk submission email. So send it to there. Send the links and the file, whatever it may be, and I'll open it from there. Actually, then I perform with Florida. Crazy, man. That's amazing. Amazing. But you have a little bit of time because we got a few people ahead of you. Here's the line right now. Yeah, you're totally good. Take your time. We got a couple people ahead of you, unless you're skipping, that we can keep you in that spot right there. Maurice, welcome in as well. Keep tapping the screen. Keep sharing the live. Let's see. Come on with the galaxy. Come on. Come on with the galaxy. Let's go. Okay, hold on. I gotta, don't send anything right now. I gotta go get a good marker and I gotta clear the board. Give me a minute, y'all. Don't send anything. I don't want to miss anything. All right, I gotta go find a marker so we can see the name easily. Y'all are crazy. I love y'all. Y'all are crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Team effort, team effort. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, we'll do I'll edit this a little bit. We'll make it a little bit more fun. Kimura, you're so kind. Goodness gracious. I love y'all. All right, give me a second, y'all. We'll clear this, then we'll get into some music. And I'll double check emails and everything here in just a second. So we used to have like the sub goals and stuff like that when we were in this when I had my studio in Dallas. But this never fully worked out. But we'll just keep it kind of here on TikTok. We'll keep it here on TikTok. We'll have like some gift goals and stuff like that. I might need to get like an Shantia, welcome in. Good to see you. We might need to get like some like alcohol wipes or something too, because these have been on here for like 6-7 months. Yeah, this bottom half doesn't want to do its thing. Hey, thank you so much for hopping in. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Sticky's in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for this little bit of an intermission in the music, y'all. Caden, don't even get me started. I'm too old for that. You did accidentally get a 6-7. But it's not because I'm hip to it. All right, we're getting there. All right. I know. I was trying to keep it. I can't erase Libby's art. That's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. Okay, give me one sec, y'all. Let me get. I want to make sure I get the way y'all spell things too, because I know sometimes because I want it to be. I want it to. Did it work? Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna. Nope. That one doesn't work. We're switching immediately. That's old. Nope. Try again. We'll do red because it's Christmassy or something. That's so sweet, man. So sweet. You think? Hey, this is y'all's fault. This is y'all's fault. All right. I want to make sure I spell it the way it is. And we're going to go ×2 with Life Explosion. And then, was it Kimura, right? Let's go. All right, we got Kimura on the board as well. It's going to be harder. So the screen is bigger on fall until that board. That's true. That's true. The screen is bigger. The screen is bigger over on YouTube and Twitch, so you can see it a little bit better. So I can kind of have it over here off to the side a little bit, and then if it happens, then we can bring it back in. I had to get rid of I had to. There's no other way. There's no other ways. Okay. Email sent. Got you, Colin. Stop. Y'all are going to make me sad, even though it was y'all's fault and you told me to do it. Getting close to releasing my upcoming album, but so unsure of what tracks to release first. That is the struggle. That is the struggle. It's like oftentimes, like when artists are getting ready, like major artists are getting ready for a release, there will be like 100 songs. They got to get down to like 14. All right, y'all. It is officially time for some music. Thank you. Thank you to Life Explosion. He's got the double on the board. He's got the ×2 on the board because he came up with the idea, and then he also sent one in. Kimura with the Galaxy as well. We needed to come into frame for a little more on TikTok. I mean, there's no way to do that. There's no way to do that. It's too limited. You're missing half the screen. He said, I can't read all that. I can't read that many chats because I'm also looking at like Twitch over here too and YouTube over here too. No, create something that, that's true. But then if we have the swirls in there, how will we do the names? How will we fill it up with names if we have swirls all over it? Yeah, Caden's lonely over on Twitch. Moonily, welcome in. I appreciate you hopping it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I can't bring this in too much because my chair's, it's right here on my chair, so I can't around the swirls, curve them. We could do so. Like, what if we here's the idea. What if we kind of, I'm gonna make this up now, right? We'll do it different. We'll do it different. We'll do it different than this. But here's my idea. If we get Libby to basically like draw like a big you can't really see that because this is kind of shitty. Half of these are like dried up. If we get Libby to draw like a big swirl, like a big galaxy or kind of a thing or something like that. I know, right? Welcome to Art Basel. But yeah, this is if we get like a big galaxy like that, and then we write the names kind of going in a big circle all around it, and it just all just like floats in. Right? Are we on the same page? Are we all for this brilliant collaboration of ideas? I think we are. Email, let's do the album. Help also got a distribution. Oh, that's amazing. A distribution goal going on. I don't know how, I don't really have a lot of capacity. I'm so busy lately. I don't know if I have a lot of capacity to offline, like be able to go through an entire album outside of the live stream. Because if I'm not on the live stream, then I'm producing, then I'm mixing, then I'm writing, all the stuff that I have to do for client work. I do offline consultations. In fact, I'm doing one tomorrow for one of my clients where I'm breaking down their records and stuff like that. I can do a longer form consultation, but unfortunately I don't have the time to dedicate going through the album at this point. I wish I did. I wish I had more capacity for stuff like that, but I can structure it in a long form consultation if you'd like, so we can really sit down on a call or a Zoom or something like that, and go through the whole album and talk about structure and which songs would fit the best together, stuff like that. If you'd like to, I'd be more than happy to do that. But yeah, I'm not able to do just strictly offline in that way. Y'all, it's time for some music. I'm gonna slide this over to the side just a little bit. No joke. I'm literally working in 12 artists on one song, trying to figure that out, and I just got a surprise extra 8. Offline, my portion is branding and marketing if anyone ever needs 100%. A beast with just branding, styling, image aesthetic, development, stuff like that. That's Libby's wheelhouse right there. A lot of y'all remember Libby doing some of the collaborative lives that we used to do. Maybe we'll do, if y'all would like to do a collaborative live, maybe we'll do one of those really soon. We'll make it a special event. We'll have like 10 tracks only or something like that, and Libby and I will do the live together. We'll set up both mics again, and y'all can hop over to Twitch and YouTube so you can see both of us a little bit better. The hard part was doing it on TikTok, because on TikTok it's really tricky. Because it's such a slim screen. There's no real estate. But on on Twitch and YouTube, you can see us so much easier. So, and we have a much better setup in this studio than we did in Dallas. So that'd be fun. All right, y'all, but officially it is time for some music. We got to get into some music before it becomes another incredibly late night for me. I've been live like late this entire week, and it's a lot. Do one live and pay you and the artist on the song. Do one live and pay. Sorry, my brain's not working. Do one live and pay you and the artist on the song to come in. Let me know what you mean by that. For whatever reason, that might make perfect sense. It's not calculating in my brain right now. All right, let's. But I want to make sure that I'm aware of what you're saying. Let's get into the music. We got Caden in the building. Caden, hop in the chat. I see you over on Twitch. And let me pull this up over here. That would be cool. There's Caden. Got you. I gotta. Okay, well, let's see. I literally need. I need another screen. I need another screen. I don't. I have two different emails. My phone, this laptop, two Pro Tool screens, OBS, the line, and the credit saved, and Spotify, and the audio player for Apple when you send files, all up at the same time. I need another. This is crazy because I can't even see it on OBS because I can't tell it. It's in the screen on all them synths and no screens. I know, literally. The thing is because I got given an old screen, and so I don't want another random screen and a Galaxy board and 12 synths. I was given the screen, and so it would look better to block the one closest to the wall, but I can't. There's stuff over there. There's 6 guitars over there in an amp. I can't have it over here. Yeah, that's as far as it goes. That's hitting the guitars. It's chaos over here, y'all. Above the piano. I'm gonna hang it from the rafters. I'm actually just gonna hang it from my cloud, actually. Mr. Dom's in the building. Yeah, it has to go over here. It's the only option. It is the only option. It's the only way. Unless I'm somehow magically find another place for guitars in this studio. That's as far in as I can make it without it blocking the Poly D, which is my priority. On the left black wall. Yeah, I can't. Cause this is another 2-rack synth stand back here, and you can't really see it because it's dark. But there's a 12-inch bass sub right here, or a bass amp right here that you can't really see, and a rack of 7 guitars. So there's like a lot going on over here that's like really dark on the camera, and it's blocked off on TikTok. But that's a 2-rack synth or a 2-rack keyboard stand, and then yeah, there's all this other crazy stuff going on over here. Okay. Y'all, let's get into some music. But there's like literally I mean, and then I have like a 410 to like a professional PA system on the like it's crazy. Like literally I have too much. This is why I was saying earlier that I'm trying to like sell stuff and trade stuff to like slim down. Because not in here. I also have like a garage that has like a bunch of brass and wind instruments. I've got 2 drum sets in storage with cases. I've got an extra 3 sets of cymbals over here, a full PA on the side of the room, and then storage underneath the couches on the other side that's full of cables. And like, it's just, it's crazy over here, y'all. It's absolutely crazy. I'm trying, but people keep trading me stuff and giving me stuff, and that's the problem. And so I'm trying to get rid of things. I am actively trying to get rid of things. In fact, I'm going to be having a studio sale. So if you are somewhat near where we are, then maybe you can get some old Torvik equipment if I'm trying to get rid of it. All right. Let's get into some music officially. We can officially get into some music, y'all. It's that time. It is that time. We have Caden in the building. We love Caden. Caden is amazing. Let me read through this email here. I'm gonna download the track, and then we'll get things moving here in our first consultations. We got 3 on the board right now. If you do want to submit, go. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link, follow the steps. If you're on Twitch, hit !submit. If you're on YouTube, go to my description and follow the steps. And it's all the same link. So you'll have everything in the right spot there. Okay, let me see. This I literally made in one day, and I don't even have the full lyrics for it yet. But I think I got everything sounding pretty decent so far. I only have lyrics through the second chorus, and then it'll just be the rest of the beat until the last chorus at the end. Beautiful. This is Curiosity Killed the Cat. Let me double check some things. So to make you, I got you up there twice. You're right there. You're the only one you can see right there. Yeah, it says #2. It might be blocked off. It depends on every screen's a little bit different. It might be blocked off a little bit. I can bring it in slightly. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure all this out. Okay, sorry, one moment. right, let's see. So I want it all on this side because that's. All right, can you see that? It's gonna be small. I just got to make sure everything's. I have to make sure it looks good on all the different platforms. So that's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Behind you and block some synths. I gotta like turn it with the light. How's that? Well, if it looks good on TikTok, then it's in the middle of the screen on the other platforms. They love Don's in the building. What's up, Don? I feel like it's been forever. Welcome in. KFR, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Okay, I think we should be. Good. Is that where it needs to be? I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for that. Siobhan, welcome in. What do you mean back? Farther away? You want it farther away? But when you say back, do you mean farther away? And then Caden, I promise we're gonna listen to your music. My bad, man. What's good, Mead? Welcome in. I feel like it's been forever. We got some of the OGs in here. So you mean farther away? Like that. The thing is that it's not going to focus because the camera is focusing on me, but. Welcome back, Mr. Dom. Welcome in. Okay. I mean, it's good. Yeah, if that's good. YouTube's okay. Thank you, Shantia. Thanks for hopping in over there. We're good. We're good. All that's gonna go away anyways because we got to switch up the whole thing and make it make sense. Libby will do something fun that looks cool. That looks like a galaxy. Shameless plug. Go stream my song Galaxy. All right, let's get into it. It's time for music. This is chaos, y'all. We gotta get into some music. It's already 9 o'clock. I've been on for an hour and we haven't heard our first song. Let's get into it. If you want to get on the board, that's what the galaxies are there. Shout out to the family. Y'all are so generous and amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. Was pulling together a Christmas cover and all the promo stuff. Let's go. No, dude, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the love. Let's get into some music. We have Caden in the building. This song is called Curiosity Killed the Cat. Let's get straight into it. We got synths.
Everything begins with a single step. But if I can never even begin there, I'll never change, I'll always stay comfortable, but slowly I can tell that this plane's starting to crash, declining, and I've tried to pull up, but the grind's approaching too fast. I'm at my wits' end at trying to fix this. Now I find myself holding the gun, about to crack. Guess curiosity killed the cat. Sometimes I don't know if all of this is just all in my mind. I can't from my past, controlling everything in its path.
Welcome in, Jordan. Good to see you.
Without even letting me catch my breath. Broken friendships never mended. I was left without knowing why. Family problems, no one ever listens. People stabbed at my pride, so I try to hide myself with everything. Now I'm just the quiet guy, just the quiet guy, pretending through this life. Comfortable, but slowly I can tell that this plane's starting to crash, declining, and I've tried to pull up, but the ground's approaching too fast. I'm at my wits' end, and trying to fix this. Now I find myself holding the gun, about to crack. Guess curiosity killed the cat.
Love these synths, man. Really nice. Nicola, welcome in. I got you, man. I would love to help you out. This will have vocals, right? You just have it open currently, right? Am I hearing that correctly, right? Super chill, man. I really like this aesthetic. Got you.
I can't tell that this plane's starting to crash, declining, and I've tried to pull up, but the ground's approaching too fast. I'm at my wits' end, and trying to fix this. Now I find myself holding the gun, about to crack. Guess curiosity killed the cat.
Love that synth. Beautiful. Let's go. Yo, give it up one time for Caden. Caden's amazing. We love Caden. He's such a genuine, authentic, creative. Like he, for those of you who don't know, Caden wrote, performed, produced, and everything. Now this is early. Obviously, there's not even lyrics on the second part of the verse there, going into the last hook, and so obviously it's not completely mixed and everything. There's not even all of the vocals in there. But he produced in everything, that entire track. Really. Excuse me, really, really talented producer and composer and songwriter as well. Do you accept techno? 100%, 100%. We always get a lot of producers in here, yesterday, we had some EDM and some lo-fi that came, some of our OGs that always send in those styles of music. So if you do, techno, house, EDM, lo-fi, dub, anything electronic, we're going to hear pretty much all the way across the board stylistically here today. So yeah, absolutely. Any genre, any level of preparedness, from super beginner to completely advanced, unmixed to mastered by the pros. We'll go all the way through. Let's run it from the top. That is Curiosity Killed the Cat by Caden. Let's get into it. Let's go through the nuances. Let's get into the details of the production structure. I like a lot of your sound design, man. It's really, really interesting. It's always very unique. Your structure is always very unique and special as well. There's some familiarity and some really warm elements to this, while also feeling like it's got some twists and turns that kind of keep you guessing a little bit. So I'm excited to get into it, man. Let's run it from the top.
everything begins with a single step. But if I can never even begin there, oh, no.
It's got a little, man, what is it called the safety set? Or man, if you know, let me know. If you know the band, let me know. Is it safe? Is it the safety set? There's a band I used to listen to like 15 years ago. 15, 17 years ago, called like Safety I can't think of the name. It's like throwing me back. There's something about your voice and some of the structure that's kind of reminding me of that. If you know them, let me know. But there's a lot of nostalgia. I'm liking the vibe a lot.
But if I can never even begin there, I'll never
Javi, welcome in.
change, always stay comfortable, but slowly I can't.
I like that. I might pulse vocal O's with that synth on the quarter note low key. Yeah, I like that idea. So here's the thing that I would look out for, because we talk about this often. So hopefully I'm just reiterating some of the things that we already talk about fairly often. I love all of the different textures and all of the different movements. If you remember, I want to check. Yeah. Let me. If I search it, I wonder if it'll. Safety suit. It's safety suit. It's a little bit different. They were a little bit more kind of like alt rock, in like the 2010s. You know what I mean? Like mid 2010s, early 2010s. Derek Bennett, welcome in. But it's safety suit. One word. Safety suit. I pulled it up on Spotify to and try to remind me. But they had some songs. They were never that big, honestly. They were never that big, but I loved their music growing up. There's something about it that I really enjoyed. How long have you been engineering? Javi, thank you so much for hopping in. I've been engineering for about 13 years. Yeah, dude, it was like they had like a couple songs that got a little bit bigger, but like they were not that big. How many monthly listeners do they have? Let me see. Safety suit. Like, yeah, dude, they have 143,000 monthly listeners. They're not a big band. They're not that big of a band, but they had some cool music. If you would like to submit, we got a couple people coming in. Let me throw up the line just really quick. If you would like to submit, just go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. You'll see all of the steps right there, and we can get you up on the board, ready to go. We got a couple other people on the board right now, so it's 10 on, 15 if you want to skip where they're at currently. But yeah, go to my profile, click on the link, and you can see all the details right there. These are long-form consultations, just so you have a heads up, and you can read those details at that link as well. It's not a quick review. They are about 20+ minutes long, 20 to 30 minutes long. We're going to go multiple times through the song to really get into the details of it, as similar to what we're doing now, except I'm a little bit distracted. But yeah, follow all those details there, and we'll get you up on the board. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you, Derek. I got you with the board up there. All right, let's get into it. Enough of safety suit. Let's get back into Caden's track here. Here's what you're talking about. Okay, so you mentioned wanting to add kind of like almost like an LFO or like a pulsing, pumped vocal in the background, kind of following the synth that you have in the background as well. I like that idea. Here's the thing I want you to be careful of as you build out more and more of those ideas, that you don't have too many elements doing too many different notes and too many different rhythmic structures. Try to simplify in some ways as much as you can and make sure that everything is complementing each other. So the only thing is like this starts really pure and really easy and really simple. I just want to make sure it doesn't get, especially in the early parts of the song, feel free to expand and really grow this later on. But early on, you might want to keep it a little bit more tame so that there's more clarity and distinction between these elements. I'm going to back it up just a hair here. because there's not a lot of repetition already. There's a lot of different melodies that come into play here. You don't get a lot of structure, and that's not specifically a bad thing because the hook hopefully gives you a little bit more of that. But just make sure you don't start adding too many different progressions, too many different chords, while also having a melody that never repeats itself or rarely repeats itself, because then you definitely will lose. I gotta stop doing too much. It's a habit. Okay, I got you, Derek. Let me double check here in a second. And again, they're not bad things. So everything that you're doing, I like the way that it sounds. And each 4-bar measure that you have, I like it. But you just have to keep in mind, if your vocal is going to change the whole time, I'd probably recommend keeping your progression and your like production structure really consistent. If your production is going to change a lot and have a bunch of different, melodic changes and structural and progression changes and stuff like that, I would encourage you to keep your vocal very consistent. Have something that's easy for people to grab onto. If everything's changing and morphing and moving, has different rhythms and different notes and different progressions, that's when it might like sound cool, isolated, but I can almost assure you that people won't be able to remember it because it doesn't have the structure and the formatting to actually allow people to grab onto it. So that's what I would just be aware of. What you're doing isn't necessarily like a right or wrong thing, right? Because I like what you're doing and I like the way that it sounds, but I do think it will be challenging for people to be able to grab onto it, right? Just because if you were to ask me now, what melodies you were singing for that verse, I don't know if I could like recall one, right? And a different artist with a really, it could be a way worse song with way shittier lyrics and way worse mix and all this stuff. But I bet you if it's like a really consistent melody and a really consistent lyric, I'll probably remember it more. And you have to kind of weigh those two things, right? It's like you could have like the worst song in the world. I mean, you could there's songs that are just as. I remember it. You know what I mean? Like Big Sean, whatever. Like I remember it. You know, that's not a creative lyric. I remember it. It's structure. It's repetition. It's a beat that supports it, right? So you don't have to do that, but keep that in mind when building out the structure of your song, right? Where like how can I balance all of the creative ideas, all of the changes I do want, while still having some structure and repetition? It's a game. It's a balance you have to have. And I will also say this too, that a lot of it has to do with like what you want out of this song, right? Like there's songs that I've written before, songs that I've worked on with artists before, collaboratively wrote with people before, that the point of the song is not like to really get streams. It's almost like an interlude in an album, and it's a 6-minute song and it moves and changes a lot. And we kind of leave it in that pocket. But then you better make sure the other 13 songs on the album have some structure to it. Otherwise, if all of your songs are so loose, then people just won't remember it, right? There won't be anything that really grabs their attention. So that's a structural thing. It's not like necessarily in your production here, but I would find how that makes sense. Let me give you a quick example. Here. Let's find the key. Yes! I love when that happens. That makes me very, very happy. It's in the key of D major. So we're doing a 1 into a 1/3. So let's go an octave down. Okay, it just makes me very happy when I'm trying to figure out the key and it happens. All right, let's that melody, gorgeous, right? So now I'm trying to figure out, how do we get there again, right? So you have your lyrics already, you have your story already, and your lyrics and stories your concepts are always fantastic. And then Derek, I'm gonna get you on the board here in a sec. Always, always, always fantastic. That's one of my favorite things about what you do, is the way you structure your like vocal layers, your harmonies, and your like songwriting and structure. So this first melody, beautiful. This is a fantastic first melody. I need to hear it again, like that, to create structure. And again, take all of this with a grain of salt. You don't have to listen to really any of the things that I'm saying. I want you to be creative. I want you to be authentic to your original idea while still trying to polish this, right? You know that already. With a single step, but if I can never even begin there, I'll never change, always stay. So this is kind of an interesting thing here as well. I try not to do everything that you do. That's so good. I mean, if you want to, you can. If you want to, you can. But I think the main thing, cue music, welcome in. The main thing I want to do is get your wheels spinning. You know, the main thing I want to do is like inspire your own ideas. If you copy something I do, go for it. I literally don't care at all. There's infinite ideas out there. Thomas Levine, welcome in over on YouTube. I appreciate you hopping in. There's infinite ideas out there. So if I do something and you really like it, take it and run with it. I'm not like worried about it like being my idea. I'll find a different one. But the main thing I want to do is hopefully like trigger something in you that's like, oh yeah, I get what he's saying. I have an idea already of how I could implement something similar that follows that profile, right? Okay, so one of the interesting things that we kind of have going on here is a shift. Neon, thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the love. So you're starting out in D major. This is crazy. This is Thomas Levine over on YouTube. This is crazy. Was just watching Behringer Poly D unlocking classic 80s synth sounds. Let's go. Shout out to Thomas over on YouTube. Welcome to the family, man. Welcome to these consultations. I love that video. That was a really, really fun. I need to make a lot more of those, to be honest with you. I really love that video. It was a really fun video to make. It's right here. Well, I could shift over here. It's right there at the top. I love that thing. It's my baby. It is such a beast of a synth. It's so versatile. It's so powerful, especially for like, $600. It's pretty fantastic. But we're in the middle of doing some artist consultations, producer consultations here. And that's another thing that we do. We do live streams throughout the week in between me working on, projects and session work and mixes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what you happen to hop into the middle of. But I'm so glad you're here, man. I appreciate you hopping in, and thanks for watching that video too. That support genuinely does mean a lot. All right, let's get into this. Okay, so you're D minor. I'm gonna change this piano real quick. Give me 1 second. I don't need all this extra sauce on this. Let's just go here. That's better. We don't need all the extra jazz. So you're starting on the D major. You're doing a 1. And then you are kind of going to your like 7 minor, and then I think you shift down to a B major. Now, this is not a wrong choice, right? There's no, it's just jazz. It's just jazz. There's no wrong choices. But I think what's happening is you're having a little bit of a difficult time getting back with your original progression through your other production layers, right? So if I go back through here.
Never even begin there.
And you kind of walk back to the B. So you can start to hear where some of these layers are fighting, trying to get back to the original progression a little bit, because typically that B would be a B minor. Be back. And you hear how the B minor resolves a little bit better. Now, I don't mind the B major, but if you're going to move to the B major, which is not in the key of D major, if you're going to move to the B major instead of the B minor, we just really have to make sure that everything like lines up, that everything makes sense. All of your other production elements follow the B major, and that vocally, let's get a minor 9 on there. Oh, there she is. Beautiful. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in. It's going pretty good, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hopping into the stream. Okay, let me back this up just a little bit, because I do want to lock down this progression for you. Because and all this comes back down. The main thing that we're focusing on, Caden, obviously, is your melody structure and making it more consistent, since you don't have any repetition in your melodies throughout the song outside of the structure of your hook, which is good. You want formatting and you want repetition there. But when it comes to your verses here, you have constant melodic variation, which is just going to make it a lot harder for people to remember it. So I would be kind of curious. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna hyper simplify this. So this song sounds like Demons from Imagine Dragons. I just clocked that. It has some in there. Your voice is so different and your sound design is so different. I don't really feel like it. I don't feel like it's too close or anything like that. But what I would do is, and you could always shift some of your progression. I'm gonna simplify this. I'm gonna do it in the easiest, simplest way possible, so that you can kind of take it, for what it is, and see if you want to adapt some of what you have here. Yeah, so you're not in D major then. unless you're doing this as a 4 and a 1/3. So you're technically would be, yeah. So you have to kind of decide where you want your progression to sit. The whiteboard's back, Ray-Track. Good to see you, man. Thank you for hopping in. And thank you so much for the heart me as well. I appreciate you over on TikTok. You have to kind of decide which key you want to live in and how you want to follow that with your other production elements. So right now, you would either be in the key of D major and the B major being kind of an accidental in this case, or you would be in A major because you have the, you have that melody over the top. And that melody over the top has your A flat in it. That melody over the top is the A flat. Another note that's not in D major, but it is in A major. So whether you're in D major or you're in a relative key or you're in A major, that's where things are kind of floating away from me just a little bit, where you're introducing chords that aren't followed by like your vocal structure there. C sharp, F sharp. What's the C sharp, F sharp, G sharp? F sharp, B, C, D. Wait, now we just got letters going on. Hold on one fucking second. Now I'm just seeing letters. Now I'm just seeing letters. What do you what do you mean, Caden? I want to make sure that I want to know your intention for your progression. That way, you might just want to make some adjustments to your vocal melody to follow the accidental. Then, if you're going to go to the B flat, go to the B major. If you're going to go to the B major, then that just gives you kind of an expanded. The black notes for the scale. So yeah, so this C sharp, F sharp, G sharp, right here, over D major. I mean, that gives you a nice, that right there, Deb, welcome in. Good to see you. That gives you a nice tension, but it doesn't necessarily follow then moving to the B. You hear where the B major, so like this like 7th, this is like a D7. The D7 is beautiful. Like that, there's nothing at all wrong with that. Yeah, so that's beautiful right there. So if you want to follow this, I love everything that's going on right there. It's when we shift to that's so contemporary and such a like bright switch away from it. I would almost love to just keep that the B minor, just to kind of show you. You have all these notes, beautiful, and then C sharp minor. You can keep all of that in there, beautiful, and then the B minor. You can keep all of those in there. Technically, all of that still fits tastefully, obviously with the synths that you have in there. Revisit that, because I do think that you're losing a little bit of clarity of your progression by default, then losing some clarity of your melody with your vocal. Let's move on past that. That's more of something I would just revisit it, make sure that you have everything in a place that feels really consistent and really polished, because your sound design is fantastic. Your voice is awesome. Your writing is great. But then there's these kind of moments that pulled me out of it for a second, I think because of the inconsistencies in the melody and some of the structural things there that I would love to hear just an edge of polish to it. All right, let me move a little bit. This is Caden. They're over on Twitch. This is Caden over on Twitch. Deb, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate that a lot. Always love your layers. Always love your synthesis. It's great. It's really, really, really nicely done. I just want to look for those consistent melodies. I want to get into this hook though.
Guess curiosity killed the sometimes I don't know if all of this is distorting my mind.
Got you.
Can't even tell what's real anymore. Half of the time anxious thoughts from my past controlling everything, and it's bad. without even letting me catch my breath. Broken friendships never mended. I was left
Love all of this here.
family problems, no one ever listens. People stabbed at my pride, so I try to hide myself with everything. Now I'm just the quiet guy, just the quiet guy, pretending through this life. Comfortable but so.
Yeah, so hearing your progression here, and again, I'm trying to be really aware too that this I don't want to throw you off in any way. I don't want to like change the structure of your production. I don't want to like rearrange your whole progression. But like, well, I don't know what the song is anymore, and I don't know what to do with my voice. That's not my goal. So I want to settle myself down from that a little bit too, and I don't want to feel like I'm like over nitpicking progression and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that if the progression is at least a bit more clear, that will also determine how you synthesize over it, your like sequences, your arpeggios, the way that you harmonize, which notes you use to harmonize, how you tune, if you tune, stuff like that, right? So I do want to make sure that the keys are set kind of where it makes sense for you. I'm kind of hearing this now. I'm pretty sure this is A major. Like, I think that's kind of where you're really going. So this would be the key of A as the 1, but you're kind of starting here. Because then you have all of these notes in there. That makes sense. B is an interesting switch still, the B major, but everything else is making a little bit more sense. So I'm going to back it up here. I just want to make sure you're harmonizing in A major if that's the case, that you're building structure in A major, that your sequences match the notes in A major. Because if it's an A major, that's where you get the A, G sharp, F sharp, and the E. Those can all fit in there, right? Because they're off of the 1 right there, walking down. That makes sense. D major would leave you with some different notes. So you're here. So there's the B there. So what you might want to do, so you basically have 7. Switch to YouTube. Switch to YouTube. Hopefully that comes through. Hopefully you can see that over there. Ryan, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for hopping in. Switch over to YouTube, Caden. Chief Rock's in the building. What's up, Chief Rock? Welcome in. Let me know when you're in over on YouTube. That way I can hey, good to see you, Chief. Hope you're doing amazing. Then you don't have to worry about it has been a minute. How you feeling these days? There's Caden over. Yeah, this, if you ever go into ads, just switch over here, and you can always switch back if you like the platform of Twitch a little bit better. Then you can always just switch back here in a second. But it's the exact same stream. It's just delayed by like 7 seconds or something like that. Okay, so you're off of the D major here, and then you would go your F sharp minor, and then let me double check this program. I know we're spending a bit of time on here. I'm sorry. F sharp minor. E major, and then here that would be your B minor. Just a quiet guy. And that's a beautiful resolve. So if you're in A major, then this all makes sense, but it would have to go to a B minor instead of a B major. So you have beautiful. That's a way easier resolve just by going just switching your D sharp to a D, going from the B major to the B minor. It resolves so much easier and makes kind of all of the other production make a lot more sense. It makes your melody make a lot more sense over that. Just a quiet guy. It resolves over the A. So that's my recommendation. Would be to just line that up a little bit. Now, if you don't want it clean, that's fine, right? So like you said, that's way more clean. If that's not what you're looking for, then just make sure everything else is following as clearly as possible. I think that's going to be the tricky part. All right, let's skip forward a little bit. Love the production, love your sound design too. I mean, I know this isn't a final mix or anything like that, because you're still kind of in the building of the production and stuff like that. But I do like your sound design choices. I like the balance between like 80s synthesis. I like the balance of like some orchestral, almost like timpani style, like kick and snare. You have some orchestral, like symphonic elements in here that I think are really interesting, paired with the synthesis that I think is really engaging. I can't wait till it's finalized with the vocal and a full mix, but I do think that you have a ton of potential with this record. Your writing's always great. Vocals are always really, really nice. Your layers are really tight, but I want to make sure everything's pointed in the same direction.
I found myself holding the gun about to crack. Guess curiosity killed.
Nice little resonance on the synth too. And this is a verse. Let me get back into the vocals again.
Comfortable, but slowly I can tell that this plane's starting to crash.
What's up, Tom? Good to see you, man.
And I've tried to pull up, but the ground's approaching too fast. I'm at my wits end, and trying to fix this. Now I find myself holding.
Yeah, so your vocals actually, okay, that's exact. This is what I was hearing. Okay, this is all making a whole lot of sense. Your that's following the B minor. So on this hook, you're doing the B minor, but it's just like part of it's only like a couple times. I think that's why it sounds off to me. There's like a couple random specific times where like just the one synth and like just one or two elements does the B major instead of the B minor, and the other things are doing the B minor. So you get this kind of tension right there in the background. That's why, because I'm hearing this. Dun, 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 dun. I'm hearing the B minor in the vocal melody there. And so that all works beautiful. Keep that as is. There's just like a couple random little things early on. Yeah, I think it's just a couple times it's one or two of your elements, your low synths or like a Rhodes or something are hitting a B major while everything else is doing a B minor. That's where that tension's coming from. Because like, wait, now I'm listening to the vocal and that's all sitting in B minor. So everything's lined up. So just again, same thing. Go back through all of those layers, make sure everything's pointed in the same direction, that, they're not half hitting a B major and a B minor at the same time. That's, I think, some of the tension that we're hearing. If you line that stuff up, I think you're already in a much better space. I'm just excited to hear your vocals over everything.
The gun about to crack. Guess curiosity killed the cat.
Love that texture in the background. Beautiful. Jordy, welcome in. Yo, show some love, man. Give it up one time for Caden. They're over on YouTube and Twitch right now. Show some love to the family, Caden. I love and adore what you do musically. You're so creative. Your progressions are always interesting. Your production structure is always really engaging and unique in the way that you're just finding, like, you're such a creative at heart that you're so good at just throwing out so many different interesting ideas. I know sometimes, like, this is the same with me. Sometimes it can be challenging to pull back in and restrain in a way that like makes sense and feels maybe a little bit more palatable. And I still want it to be weird. You know what I mean? Like I still want it to be kind of goofy and weird, and I want it to have some really unique elements. So my biggest like tip to you is try to find that balance of interesting progression, but everything follows the interesting progression. Everything's on the same page of the interesting progression. Interesting layers and vocals, but they're all doing it together in sync and in a way that makes sense for the record and is palatable, right? Have all of the crazy, interesting ideas and then try to mold them into something that still makes sense in the structure of the song, and also working on structure and repetition and formatting for your record. Since, again, your lyrics and structure for your lyrics and your melodic structure are great. They just need a little bit more of a format. They need a little bit more repetition, so on and so on. But y'all, please give it up one time for the family. Appreciate you so much, Caden. You're amazing. Hey, so good to see you, Mr. Dom. It's amazing to have you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's always a pleasure to see that name in there. I hope you're doing fantastic as well. Thank you so much, Caden. I appreciate it so much. I know I'm taking forever, y'all. I'm going to try to move at a good pace. We got Derek Bennett in the building. Derek Bennett, hop in the chat. I saw you just a second ago, so let me know that you're here. Let me throw up the line here for just a second. We got Derek, Neon the Bishop, and Colin on the board ready to go. If you would like to submit your music on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link, and you'll see Track Talk Submission. If you're on Twitch, which we're live on right now, you can also hit !submit right there in the chat. If you're on YouTube, which we are also live on right now, you can go to the description right below the live stream, and you'll see all the details right there. Derek is here doing housework. Let's get into it. Dipped into my Hans Zimmer bag here, adding vocals layer. That is the email that I got from Derek Bennett. So let's get into it. I'm excited. Dipped into my Hans Zimmer bag. This is HZ, which I'm going to go out on a long limb here and assume that stands for Hans Zimmer. Okay, let's run it from the top. This is Derek Bennett, amazing producer. He's been doing a lot of cinematic stuff over the last, I would say, probably year or so almost. That he's been really leaning into the cinematic stuff. I don't have a title. Yeah, I figure that works. 99% of my tracks just have the most random. It'll be like dark synthwave track, growling bass 2025. That's the name of my files until I figure out how to put them into a track and make it make sense with an artist, whether I'm selling to an artist, producing for an artist, or it ends up being mine. It's always all over the place. All right, let's get it. This is HZ, untitled track, essentially, by Derek Bennett. Derek Bennett, let me know what you're looking for with this as well, and let's dive in. Oh yeah. Coming this summer to a theater near you. Yeah, it's got like a Dune vibe. Perfect. This is nice. Very nice, man. Great dynamics. Let's go. Very cool. Very, very cool. Y'all show some love to the family. That is Derek Bennett in his Hans Zimmer bag. Honestly, man, really, really well done. One of my favorite cinematic productions that I've heard from you. It's really, really dynamic. It's powerful. It hits heavy. It's got a lot of weight to it. Kilo, welcome in. Good to see you, man. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top, and let's get into some of the details of this one. We'll talk, just like you said, we'll talk about structure. We'll talk about some production details. One of the things is you have a really beautiful melody at the top end here that that's a beautiful melody. I love it so much. I would find some moments to tease that and to amplify it and layer it, especially at the end. So when you're bringing in the strings, I would definitely. I would have that really like punchy and stack. When you get into like this big climax at the end, make sure that you have at least one spizzicato, like an open string spizzicato that has a little bit more of that energy behind it, because it's a really, really great melody, and I would love for it to like feel a little bit more prominent in the mix. Now, obviously, it's not mixed at all, but in the structure of your production, I would love to hear that. You know, it's such a great. I love it. Like that's what's going to be stuck in my head for like the rest of the night is that melody right there. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. So make sure that has some layering and some teasing. That to me is like your hook. That melody right there that you go into kind of in the second hook right here. That to me is like the hook of this track. So I would have that melody in some other sections here. So let's run it from the top. It starts heavy too, and I love it. So just to give you an example of how I would do this, and again, feel free to do this however you see fit. So you have this right here, and you kind of walk down. What I would do, just so you have this through line and this thread of melody and hook in the song, is I would have it walk up to the 6 right here. So having that expanded chord right there and opening it up there, that gives you kind of a tease of it gives you that expanded note, and it gives you almost like a tease of that structure in the simplest way possible of just having your intro. Instead, it's just literally changing one note and going up to that 6 right there, as opposed to down to the 3rd. And it just, to me, it's a nice little through line that like you're expecting to hear that note a little bit more. It's very satisfying to listen to as you go throughout the production structure. Love these strings here. Beautiful. To the 6. This is really nice right here. I can't wait for this to be mixed. It's a really nice structure right here so far. It's weighty, it's powerful, it's dark and mysterious. I love so much about it. I know it needs to be mixed so far because this is done a couple hours ago, and so I'm very excited for that. This already sounds really nice. The tension in the strings is really powerful. So again, if you want to kind of, if you want to still structure this, like think of, like you mentioned Hans Zimmer. Another good example of this would be like Klaus Badell. He did a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean, like the first, like the most prominent, you know, like that whole thing. That was Klaus Badell. He wrote the original score there. Whatever the melody actually is, that he wrote a lot of that. And there's a reason why you remember that. And it's because it's literally like a hook of the song, right? You have these like themes, just like you would any other song, like a verse and a hook and these moments and these consistent melodies that make you want to kind of come back to those pockets, right? So I would encourage you to have kind of that there too. So I'm like, if in the middle or the beginning, it's just this one, it's just that they have right there. It's not a full melody. It's just a teaser of that note in the scale that gives you some tension. And then when this cello comes in, so if then you went, you know, and you start to just introduce like little pockets of it. You're not yet doing, you're not doing that yet. You're not doing this full, you're not doing a full melody yet. You're just, yeah. And I'm actually talking about the cello, not the piano necessarily. You could do some of this on the piano too, but I think you should start to introduce, in whatever way makes sense for you, right? Introduce like that lead line, that lead melody, so that people start to like recognize it. Because then what happens is then you pull the energy away and you leave out that melody for a minute and people want to kind of hear that, you know, that energy again. And then you come back really hard with the beat after that. And you introduce the melody full with the strings, with the piano, with, you know, guitar, whatever you want to do. And you can kind of go crazy with it. But I think those little teasers, long cello. So I like literally, I didn't mean to have all of this live here. So literally. Ooh, follow with a major instead of a minor there would be beautiful. You don't have to do that. So I would do just like the exact cello that you have, but use, but follow somewhat that melody. So let's bring up the vibrato just a little bit, and then we'll bring this down. Oops, we don't want the strings on there too. Jesus, what are we doing? What are we doing? So you come here. So right in here. Out here, so like you have it there as this, and you just have it there, just like you have the same like longer cello there, with like the legato's really nice. Following kind of that future, yeah, just literally keep the same cello and then change the notes to match what the future melody's kind of going to be, and then let off the gas here so that you take a break from it. Let this open up completely, just like it is, like perfect. Like exactly what you have here, keep it as is for the most part. Add what you want to, right? But I think what's going to be powerful, what's going to give you like a segment and a structure to the song is the fact that you come in and out of these melodies, right? You have the little piano notes, you have the one little note, and then you back off for a second. You bring in the cello and you add in that one little note. You get that one little texture right there, and then you back off and you hit it really hard for a second. And then when everything comes back in later on, you have the full spizzicato, full strings, everything in kind of a feeling. And I think that gives you a really, really nice hook for your like string melodies. Yeah, like keep this all exactly as is, because this gives you like a little bit of a relief from the melody, kind of makes you want it to happen again later on. You have a little bit more structure. And you could keep building up here if you want, so keep the melody out. And then bring it up here. No, it doesn't come in yet. Later. Yeah, keep building up here. I think in this part of the structure, just kind of keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, because I think you already have like this build up here, and I would just try to polish that and get it really, really dynamic. But I like what the drums are doing. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of build up. You know, string risers and bends and stuff are going to be really important here. So keep that going. And then once the melody comes in, add in the... Follow that melody at the top. Jesus, stop Pro Tools. What are you doing? Just randomly playing shit. Okay. So, yeah. And then there you... Follow that melody with the vocals right there. Yeah, follow the, you're a little bit lower. Follow that melody right there. Follow that melody right there at the bottom, and then have a stack of strings that are supporting that, right? And you have the octave up. Follow that melody underneath, and then everything feels like super, super powerful. Especially here. So then what I would do is I would make sure you have room for one other layer to stack, right? So if you have this, you know, and that's giving you a lot of punch right there, then as soon as the drums hit these rolls right after that and your energy shifts, that's when I would add like one more octave. Add one more octave over the top that gives you even more punch and even more drive. But when the drums shift, something in the production structure, I feel like it needs to shift a little bit too, not just the percussion. You need one stair step up to give this just the final climax that feels just undeniably massive, right? So just give it like one last push, one more octave, one more supportive layer to give it the tension that you need. Whether it's another layer of choir, whether it's another like, you know, spizzicato or pizzicato or another like cello that's added as a top layer, find like one more gear to push into, and then I think you'll be good to go. I love so much about the sound design. I really wouldn't shift much about what's going here. Just a little more specificity with your melodies, a little bit more like intention with how you build the hook, so that there is like a clear melody structure, dude. And then you're gonna be rocking. This is really, really cool, really dramatic and cinematic, man. One of my favorite productions from you for sure. Julian, welcome in. super heavy, man. I love this. I love it, man. Y'all, give it up one time for the family. Derek Bennett. If you're not familiar with Derek Bennett, you need to definitely make sure that you are following him on all platforms. Go stream his music, his productions. He's worked with a couple different artists now at this point. We're going to the movies. Hans Zimmer. Dude, I love it so much. Honestly, one of my favorite cinematic productions I've heard from you. I feel like it has like the clearest energy and clear structure. I feel like percussion choice is really key for this one as well. I think you did a great job. The brass is there and it's heavy, but it's not too overwhelming. Yeah, so clarity of melody I think is going to be really important. So you do feel like you have some structure and it doesn't just all step on each other for the song. Build energy properly, but man, it's a really, I'm finding my lane for sure. That's 100% true, man. Y'all please give it up on time for Derek Bennett. This is nice, man. Honestly, sounding really, 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 really good. So you should be incredibly, incredibly proud of the work that you've put into that record. We've got some more music to get to. Once again, if you would like a 20 to 30 minute long form consultation on the structure of your mix, production, sound and lyric structure, whatever it may be, whatever would best serve you and give you the best benefit and the most value. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. If you're interested in a breakdown and a consultation, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link. If you're on Twitch, hit _ submit in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, just go down to the description in the live stream and you'll see the link right there, and just click on Track Talk Submission and walk through all the steps right there. We have the legend Neon the Bishop up next. Neon, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to pull up this track. Let's get this downloaded really quick. I want to make sure that you are here before I play it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, man. It has been a long time since I have heard a Neon the Bishop record. This is called Long Way Down. Give me all the details, Neon. Talk to me about this record. It's been a while too, so update me on the creation of this as well and the role that you play on it. If this is anything close to what I've experienced in the past listening to your music, I know it's going to be really, really, really nicely done. But let's get this downloaded and let's dive in. This is Long Way Down by Neon the Bishop. They do have music released, so if you like what you hear, go stream their music. Go find them on all DSPs.
It's lonely here. All of my friends just seem to disappear. They're burning up inside my atmosphere. A tragic situation, I'm left in isolation on this space station. Funny how we always wind up crashing in the end. It's a long way down, it's a long way down. Catch you at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's a long way down, it's a long way down. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, when I'm floating on and on. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone, when I'm floating on and on. I got first player energy, last level enemies. You lack synergy, NPC so paralyzed, trying to analyze till you criticize, but change the beat. Waste my time with empty motivation. Your game is fabrication, Mr. PlayStation. Funny how we always wind up.
When's this coming out, man?
It's a long way down, it's a long way down. Catch you at the bottom. It's a long way down, it's a long way down. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I'm floating on and on. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I'm floating on and on. So dramatic, I tried democratic, played it pragmatic, it was problematic. I'm emphatic, chromatic, I won't stay static. I'm emphatic, chromatic,
Nice.
I won't stay static. It's a long way down, it's a long way down.
What a melody.
You at the bottom.
gorgeous. So good, man. It's I'm reminded once again why I like Neon the Bishop's music. The structure, the melodic structure just feels so fresh. I love the, almost like melodic alliteration of the long way down, walking down. There's so many parts of this song structure that I'm a huge fan of. It's a really good mix too. This is a big wall of sound, noisy, massive mix. But you're still getting really good clarity and punch from that lead vocal. It's mid forward, it's slicey, it's smooth. Your vocal cuts beautifully. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top and let's get into some details here. But man, I cannot wait for this to come out, man. Download release this month. Everywhere else in January. It needs to be January. It can't come soon enough, man. I can't wait to stream it, man. I'm a fan of your music. It's really, really well done. It's not quite the final mix. Would love some thoughts here. Yeah, let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Y'all are crazy talented. Remind me, I know you're doing vocals, right? Are you playing any instrumentation on this one as well? Lance, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, y'all are talented. You have a really, really slicey vocal mix. It's really, really forward, and I like it. It's this intro too, because of like the percussion is like and I mean this in a good, I mean it in the best way that I can. It just depends on people's opinion, but it reminds me of like early Adam Lambert a little bit. It's I don't know, there's something about it that feels modern and it feels really fresh, but also feels kind of like 2010s nostalgic. Like I feel like I'm in high school, and I love that so much. I love it so much. Okay, I want to run from the top. I like the early samples here too. You did vocals, some rhythm guitar, band, and producer on the rest. Beautiful. Y'all are all great. I mean, I've seen y'all's stuff. I've seen y'all's also love Queen. So yeah, that's it all adds up. It all makes sense because he's vocalizing for Queen too. So that all adds up. It's beautiful. I love it. It's got a cool collaboration between kind of alternative pop and some like heavier like guitar driven rock and roll. So it's a cool combo. Okay, let's run it from the top here.
It's lonely here. All of my friends just seem to disappear. They're burning up inside my atmosphere. A tragic situation. I'm left in isolation on the space station. Funny how we situation. I'm left in isolation on the space station. Funny.
Let me back it up, sorry.
Disappear. It's lonely here.
Okay, so here's I'll bullet point a couple things as we go because the quality is fantastic. So tracking is great, sound design's fantastic, structure perfect. I wouldn't touch it at all. I'm just gonna bullet point a couple little balancing things that I think would maybe bring it to life a little bit, make sure that it maintains the energy of the mix throughout the structure. That's all really I feel like I need to touch because I think everything else to me, at least personally, it just. Me listening to it, it sounds really fantastic. So really quick, you have a big hit going into this verse. Love the transition's great. I love the filter sampling early on going into a pretty heavy hit right there. The only thing that I notice is coming out of that, the electronic drums that you have coming out of that. Philip Odom's in the, what's up, Philip Odom? Good to see you, man. I love your work, man. You're another incredibly talented producer and engineer. I love what you do, man. Been following you for a minute. Thanks for hopping in. White Light the Frequency. Thank you so much for being here as well. You have a harder hit going into your verse, and then your electronic drums to me are probably 2 or 3 dB lower where I feel like my brain would prefer them to sit. Just because I feel like you actually initially lose a little bit of steam as soon as the verse starts right there. I would kind of choose your non-negotiables for what you feel like drive that verse. And for me, it's like you have your pulsing synth with some of your bass, you have your lead vocal, and you have your percussion. And he spells it with the 2 L's the right way. It's the only way. It's the only way to actually spell it. Shout out to Philip. If you, I don't know if he's actually in here or swipe through, but if he is, follow Philip Odom. He's a really talented, especially like guitar driven productions. He's one of the best. He's really, really talented. I believe he runs a studio out of Austin and sometimes LA, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think more specifically Austin. He set up a nice space over there. I would love to go visit. Actually, that'd be really cool. It'd be fun to maybe work with him someday. He's really talented. Anyways, side note there. Okay, going into your transition of the verse, I do feel Dude, I would love to. I would absolutely love to, man. You've got a really cool space there. But yeah, Philip's awesome. Please follow him and follow what he does. Very, very talented. And he's worked with some really cool bands too. Okay, so production structure going into the verse, just make sure that you don't lose steam in the percussion. Like I said, the way that I usually address this is just kind of finding your non-negotiables. Like what do you know has to be present in the mix to make sure that you're maintaining energy and maintaining the vibrancy that you're looking for, and then fill in around that. If everything's kind of forward and everything's kind of wide, I do feel like you miss some distinction, you miss some clarity. And if you're anything like me, it can kind of get annoying because I like all of the things that I'm producing. I like all of the instruments that I'm adding, so I tend to have them all louder sometimes, and then you lose distinction and you lose clarity and you lose kind of any distinction in your panning and stuff like that because everything's kind of loud and everything's pretty forward. So I would potentially trade a little bit of energy with some of the synthesis that you have in there, some of those pads, and keep your percussion a little bit more forward so that you still have some of the driving elements. You still have a little bit more energy there underneath your vocal without it feeling like there's too much going on, especially because it's really early into the song. I think that also allows you to maintain some of the energy. You have a big hit to start the verse and then percussion dips by like 3 or 4 dB. I think it allows you to maintain that energy a little bit more consistently. Let me push forward a little bit. I want to hear your hook, but dude, you're so freaking talented. Your voice is nuts. Such a crazy voice. I want to hear this hook. It's a fantastic hook. It's catchy as hell. Love the long portamento bend down with the synth there too. I mean, you know I love my synths, but that's you got some really cool sound design in here, some really cool textures, man. Sour Soul, welcome in.
Synergy, NPC so paralyzed, trying to analyze, do you criticize, but change the beat. Waste my time with empty motivation. Your game is fabrication, Mr. PlayStation. Funny how we always.
Beautiful positioning on those stacks too. Really nice, man. Your vocal production is really, really tasteful. I like it a lot. Mix on your Natalie. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Sour Soul, can I request Mr. Rager by Kid Cudi? Yeah. So these are most of the artists that we're hearing here are kind of independent underground artists, people that haven't been, of course, not as discovered as Kid Cudi. You don't be sorry at all. You're totally fine. Feel free to hang out for a little bit. We have a lot of really amazing artists in here. But yeah, we're doing long form consultations for artists and producers and like young engineers and people that are trying to get some polish on their records. Bookable Beats, thank you so much for the follow as well. It means a lot. So that's the structure of what we're doing here. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can go to my profile, click on the link and click on Track Talk Submission if you just want to see what it's all about. But yeah, no, don't apologize at all. I appreciate the follow as well. Thank you for that. True. I want to get into this next section here too. You have there's something that feels like it's missing to me, and I can't pinpoint it just yet. So I'm going to keep listening a little bit farther. It's really nice though. I mean, the production is great. Your tracking is great. You're getting great clarity from your vocal. I think that's my favorite part of this is your vocal stacks, the positioning of those layers. They're tracked and comped beautifully, like very, very tight. Your vocal sounds awesome, man. It sounds really, really nice. So I wouldn't really mess with that too much. The main thing that I don't have the answer for yet, but I'm kind of just listening for is kind of the energy behind the mix and the energy behind the guitars, the double track of guitars that you have right there versus the percussion, and it not feeling like too homogenous. But I want to kind of feel those guitars jump out a little bit more, jump out of the mix a little bit more. Sorry, I can't talk. It's too late. It's like 10 o'clock. It's not that late, but I want to feel the energy of them just a little bit more. So I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out how I perceive that right now, but that's kind of what I'm pointing my attention towards. I think your vocal mix is beautiful and the guitars sound good. The drums sound, snappy and punchy. They sound really, really good as well. But I'm trying to figure out how we can't lift and bring a little bit more life into this mix here. Let me do something real quick. I just want to analyze something briefly. I'm going to drop this into Pro Tools. Give me one moment. Let's drop this into Pro Tools here. Let's expand this. There she is. And let's, I just want to kind of see what's going on here. Let's unmaster, and I'm going to add a fab filter just so I can kind of get an eye on what I'm already hearing here. I love that. I love that. Thank you for hopping in. Whoops, I got to solo this. My bad. Enemies, you lack synergy. NPC so paralyzed, trying to analyze till you quit. No, you're totally good. You'll never miss your song. You'll never miss your song. So even if you, I think you're coming up next, maybe. I'll double check in a sec. I think you're coming up next. But even if you were driving, you're working, you fell asleep, whatever, you had to eat, something like that, and when you were up next, I will always save your record so you'll never miss out on your chance to get heard. Ever, ever. I always want to make sure you're good. All right, let me play this. Of course. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. Catch you at the bottom. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Going on and on. You're gonna miss me when. Okay, here's a little bit, and this is not going to come through on TikTok. So TikTok has some issues with duplicating mono and not offering an accurate stereo image. It's also super, super compressed over on TikTok, but it'll come through a little bit more on Twitch and YouTube. What I'm kind of listening for is this little pocket right in here. What I'm feeling, and this has to do a little bit with just the overall EQ profile of the track itself, and then just kind of where things are positioned. You have really, warm, full bass on the far, far, far low end. And you also have really snappy, bright, open, transient elements at the top. I mean, your snare, your drums, those all sound really good. Your vocal texture on the high end is really good. But I do feel like I'm missing a little bit of kind of just warmth and some forwardness and some character and some color in the middle of the mix. So all I did here, and again, it's probably not going to come through very, very well over on TikTok, but all I did was literally just, I just did this kind of nasty, and I'm obviously doing this on the master. What I kind of noticed in listening, well, it felt a little bit U-shaped. So it's really, and again, I'm being kind of ultra picky, but it's because I really want to feel these guitars a little bit more, and I really want to feel the openness of your vocal stacks a little bit more, because those to me are really, really engaging elements of this mix. And I feel like I'm mainly hearing kind of vocal top into drums and the far lower end, and I want to warm it up a little bit. So I'm literally just gonna add 600 hertz here, 3.5 dB up in the middle, and just warm it up a little bit. So this is the original. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. Catch you at the bottom. It's a long way down. Now I would never do this on the master. That's not the move I would make. But what it's kind of telling me is my brain, at least, just me as an engineer, and it's gonna be different for everybody that listens to the song, right? Everyone has a different perspective on it. But from what I'm hearing, I do want to hear a little bit more of those mids, a little bit more warmth on what to me I'm perceiving as probably your vocal bus and your guitars. Those two things. I think the drums are snappy, they're transient, they're very punchy. I actually like where they sit. I think bass is really warm and it's got a lot of weight to it in the far low end, which I think is beautiful. And so I think what I'm picking up on would just be literally the smallest changes in the world is go to your vocal bus. And if you're pulling out some of that energy to create a little bit more brightness and openness, maybe just introduce another dB or 2 dB, like just a little bit of warmth inflated in the middle here. Again, kind of right here in the middle. I'm just offering a little bit more warmth and color to the middle of the mix. And of course, this is affecting everything in the middle of the mix, which I wouldn't want to do because it's making the bass a little bit muddy too. But on like your vocal bus and maybe on your guitar bus as well. So you have like a double track guitar or something that's being fed into like a guitar bus, which I would recommend in either way. Give it like a little bit more warmth in the kind of like 500 to 800 range.
It's a long way down, it's a long way down. Catch you at the bottom. It's a long way down, it's a long way
Bypass.
down. You're gonna miss me when
On.
I'm going on and on. You're gonna miss me when
Bypass.
I'm going on.
To me, it immediately gives like so much more. And again, and this is the shittiest way that you should do this, but it immediately, even just with this one random curve, to me gives it like so much more fullness and energy and drive, because all of the guitar, and this is helping with the snare a little bit too, but all of the guitars, all of those vocals really just swell with energy. It gives you a really, really nice broad picture. Makes everything feel bigger and wider and a little bit more vibrant. So something you could at least turn your attention towards. Like I'm saying, I'm being a little bit picky because y'all are fantastic. I mean, you're fantastic. And I know you want a keen ear on this too, but man, y'all are very, very, very talented. You're an incredibly talented vocalist and writer. Your melody structure is chef's kiss. It's so catchy. Your repetition, your formatting, fantastic. Really, really, really well done. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you hopping in, man, and hanging out for a little bit. Y'all, shout out to, like I said before, y'all, please go follow Philip. He's amazing. Great name. Fabulous name, if I do say so myself. Let me get into just your outro here really quick. I want to see, I want to hear this ending. Oh no, OBS is saying it wants to update. Please do not update. No, thank you. Keep me live. All right, let me get into this this outro here. But yeah, structure is fantastic. Musicianship, fantastic. Vocals, chef's kiss, beautiful. You're doing everything you need to do, man. Little polished things. And also, I say this all the time, but like, you could send the same mix to 5 different Grammy winning engineers and they will all send you back a different mix, a different sound, a different tone, a different color, different characteristics, different automation curves. You know what I mean? Like everyone has a different perspective on, this is just mine. Mine is not right or wrong or whatever. It's just my perspective on, I think, what my ears like to hear and what fullness I think could make it feel maybe a little bit more impactful and vibrant, but it's not necessarily right or wrong, right? It's just kind of what I'm picking up on. And so what I would do, and this is the way anybody should treat any kind of a consultation like this, any review, anything like that, is test some things, right? A and B, a couple things. Go to the guitar, but I mean, this is a 30-second revision. This is not like you need to restructure anything. This is a 45-second revision. Drop any stock EQ on your guitar bus and your vocal bus and inflate by 2 dB, a small bell curve between 500 hertz and 800 hertz. Leave it there for a second, bypass back and forth and be like, does this bring it to life a little bit? So you're not touching the drums or the bass or anything really on the master. Does this bring it to life a little bit? Or is it kind of inconsequential? And I like the structure previous to that. And that is 100% valid and you should run with it. I just always want to preface that because, everyone has like really strong opinions and they want I think a lot of engineers like egotistically want to be like, I've got your answer. I've got the fix. And this is the way you should be mixing your stuff. It's what my ears are picking up on. If you want to test it out, I would, and just see if it doesn't inflate it a little bit and bring it to life. Because what I notice is sometimes I feel like I'm not hearing the guitar. If that makes sense. If it makes sense a little bit, it'll be better when you're not on TikTok and you're just listening to the record. I feel like I'm not hearing the guitars and like what they're doing, and I kind of want to a little bit more because they are cool and they're there and they exist and I like that they're there, but I'm not hearing what they're doing. I'm just kind of getting this wall of high and low mids, and I'm not actually hearing the guitar do guitar stuff. And my brain kind of wants to. I hear it in the drums, I hear it in the vocals, the bass is warm, but that's I think the overarching why I would readdress some of the EQ stuff there is so that we can feel that double track guitar in the mix because it's fire. Sounds great. Everything sounds great. Let me hear the outro, and then we'll switch over to Colin.
Miss me when I'm gone, when I'm falling on and on.
Yeah, the guitar feels so distinct right there. And to me, almost too distinct because it feels like that's like my first time hearing it. Kind of. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm hearing the whole song and then all of the sudden it almost to me, and again, this is an exaggeration a little bit, but it almost to me sounds like all of a sudden there's a random guitar part that kind of comes in at the end that wasn't there before, as opposed to it being like the tail fret slide at the end of that guitar's part in the song. If that makes like a little bit of sense. It kind of is actually a little bit, right? It kind of, was it actually just? And let me bring this back open. I'm gonna EQ it again. It might actually be standalone in its own space. Or it's like EQ automation, super peaked. Either way, I would still make some small A and B tests to that EQ and just see if you can't give it a little bit more texture and a little bit more warmth. But y'all, please, for the love of all things holy and all things rock and roll, show some love to Neon the Bishop. I am such a fan of what you do, man. You are very talented across the board. Musicianship is great. Structure is fantastic. I love the twists and turns. I love the percussion changes. I love the vocal harmonies. Like they're doing so many things so well. So I'm just my only goal, my sole purpose in this consultation is like, is there a way we can turn it to 11? You know what I mean? Is there a way that it can go from 10 to 11? It's already there. It already sounds really, really nice. Is there any way we can kind of polish it up a little bit? And that to me is just those mids and a little bit of the percussion structure early on. But y'all, please show some love to Neon the Bishop. Amazing artist, amazing group. Your producer that you're working with too, that you collaborate with and work with is fantastic as well. Please go stream their music. Go like their tracks. Go add them to playlists. Go run up the numbers. Go and boost their algorithm. So on and so on. You're a beast, man. Really, really talented. Let's keep it moving. Colin, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here, Colin. Let me know that you're here. Let me pull up the Time Mind. I see Time Mind in the building. What's up, Time Mind? Some say. Of course, man. Anytime. Let me throw up the list really quick. I think we just got Colin. There's Colin. I know Time Mind's probably about to come in with a some say something about my mustache. Because he always does. Thank you for the roses, man. Thank you for the man. I appreciate your generosity so much. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Some say. All right, let's see what we got from Colin here. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. I maybe have time for like one. Let me see where I'm. Let me double check really quick where I'm at on my list. So let's see. We can 2, 3, 4. So technically 2. I don't know. It's a little bit later, but I can probably. Some say there it is. Some say. Well, I feel like I need to be Jeremy Clarkson. Some say Torvik's mustache. That's a horrible accent. Ignore that. Some say Torvik's mustache has full session recall. I wish. I need my Wes Audio. I need my Wes Audio full digital / analog recall. That's what I need. Shout out to Time Mind. I appreciate you hopping, man. It's always a joy to have you in here. All right, let's get into it. We got Colin Craft in the building. Colin, I believe it's my first time hearing your music, if I'm not mistaken. So I would love to for you to talk me through a couple of the other details of the song here. I'm going to read the email here really quick, and then we'll get into it. I think I have a YouTube video. Let me double check something real quick. I'm going to get this pulled up. Give me 1 second. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Let's okay. Lyrics, vocals, and composition and acoustic guitar by Colin. Much love from Trinidad. Let's get into it. All right, we got a full YouTube video. Okay, so I'm assuming, based on the fact that I have this video, that it is out on all platforms. Is that correct? If it is, let the people know. And if it is, then I need everybody to go stream it. Go add it. If there's an artist on the stage and they're releasing music and they are being vulnerable and they are putting themselves out, it is out on all platforms. Then I need you to go support it. Any artist that gets on the stage and is vulnerable enough to release their music out to the world, I need you to show some love and support. Go add it to your playlist. Go like it. Go stream it. Go repeat it. All of that good stuff. All right, so we got a music video here. So we're gonna toss this. Up on the screen. I'm not going to be able to see any chat while this is up. Any chat? I'm not going to be able to see any chat on here for YouTube or Twitch for the next 4 minutes and 25 seconds, just because I'm going to have this up on my screen so I can see it. And I'm going to play it for the entire live stream. So y'all will see this over on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok as well. So this is a music video, it looks like, for The Wrong One, an original track by Colin Craft. Let's get into it. It's going to be a little bit zoomed in on TikTok, but it should be good on Twitch and YouTube.
Now I'm here writing a new song.
Okay.
What it's gonna be, I don't know. I can only write about what I feel inside. Feels so real, you're not by my side. I guess I should dig deep within and find a reason to carry on. I gotta look inside, find the peace that resides. It's about time.
It's a nice video.
I think I should write a love song to hold on to when you're gone. Oh, I think I should just write about life and how love really cuts like a knife when you're with the wrong one.
You got a nice voice, man. This little auto pan on the cello. Let's go.
Life's not meant to be boring. They say joy comes in the morning. Wait on a special moment, they say. But why wait when your heart beats every day?
I love seeing real musicians, man. Come on.
I think I should write a love song to hold on to when you're gone. Oh, I think I should just write about life and how love really cuts like a knife when you're with the wrong one. Oh,
Nice
when you're
range.
with the wrong one.
Who mixed this?
When you're with the wrong one. When you're with the wrong one. Think I should write a love song. Hold on to when you're gone. Oh, I think I should just write about life and how love really cuts like a knife.
Good lyrics, too.
When you're with the wrong one.
Nice, man.
When you're with the wrong one. When you're with the wrong one. When you're with the wrong one. You were just the wrong one. You were just
No way.
the wrong one.
That's my beautiful, dude. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yo, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That was Colin Craft, The Wrong One. We just watched hold on, let me exit out of here real quick so I can see what's going on. so I can get back to the chat over here. That was the music video that Colin Craft put together for his song "The Wrong One." Beautifully done, man. I'm a fan of seeing musicians being musicians. You know, especially in the age of all this digital stuff and AI and all that, man. Just to see a guitarist being a guitarist and a drummer be a drummer and a vocalist vocalizing. I love it. It's so fun. No matter what your opinion is on all of that stuff, I love to see it. It makes me so, as someone who's played music their entire life, who's been, drumming since he was 4, played guitar since I was 8 years old. Like it's so much fun to me. It excites me so much just to see musicians enjoying themselves, pushing themselves at their craft and executing great music like this. So shout out to y'all. Rise of Power, welcome in over on Twitch. Good morning. I appreciate you. It's morning, so it's night for me and it's morning for you. Where are you tapping in from, Rise of Power? I appreciate you being here over on Twitch. Thank you for joining the live stream. Let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. I want to pull it up on Spotify so you can get a stream for it too. So let me pull it up over there. That way you get the bonus of when we go back through the song, getting yourself a little bit of an extra boost over there. Just something. Billy Davis, welcome in as well. UK 4:30 a.m. Are you waking up right now? Or are you just going to sleep? That's crazy. That's an early morning. All right, let's see. Colin Croft. Just woke up. Wow. Good on you. That's amazing. Are you on Spotify? Colin Craft? Oh, I said Croft, not Craft. Hold on. That's my bad. I'm looking it up wrong. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. You got a bunch of music out, man. It's okay. Yeah, we got 31 monthly listeners. 31 monthly listeners. That's got to change. I obviously haven't seen your like social pages or anything like that. But I would highly encourage you to be making he's like, I know. I would highly encourage you to be making just strategic content for your music. It doesn't have to be like everyone else is doing it. You got to find a version of content that makes sense for you, that makes sense for your time and your energy. Sometimes it's got to be lazy. Sometimes it's better thought out. But you're too talented, and you're working with too talented people for you to be sitting at 31 monthly listeners, man. You've got a lot going for you. Rise of Power, thank you so much for hopping into the live stream. So these the feedback here, these are 20 to 30 minute consultations. In fact, I could probably take one more song. I think Colin was going to close this out, but I can definitely take another one. These are 20 to 30 minute long form consultations. So artists, producers, and engineers, and musicians, and vocalists, songwriters, they send in their music. We spend about 20 to 30 minutes going through their song multiple times, 2 to 3 times, breaking down the structure of the mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure, and hopefully offering some professional and actionable feedback. So it's not like a quick review where, I'm not just going to tell you to get a better mix and have better energy and then move on. We're going to spend a long time digging into the track, getting into the details so we can offer specific and actionable feedback on the song. And for those of you who don't know, if you're coming in either on TikTok, YouTube, or Twitch, my name's Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. It's what I do for a living. That's what I've done for the last 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So a lot of the kind of the format of what we do here is offering tools and tips that are pointed in that direction. It's not just like a hype live or exposure. It's not just like a quick review. I'm not here to trash you or roast you. I want to make sure that every single person that's coming through the live stream is getting like real, genuine, like nuanced feedback on the structure of your music. If you want to submit Rise, or you want to even just read more about the structure of the live stream, go or just type !submit in the chat. They're over on Twitch, so this won't work anywhere else. But type !submit in the chat, and it'll pop up for you right there, and the link will pop up in the chat. Smokey, you can. If you're over on, let me see, I can pull this up on the screen as well. If you're over on TikTok, you can follow these steps that are right here on the screen if you would like to submit. I have time for 2 more. I only have time for 2 more. So if y'all want to submit, you can. It's 10 to get on or 15 if you want to skip ahead. So it's completely up to you if you would like to submit tonight. I will be live again tomorrow as well. In fact, as far as I know, I should be live every day this week. So yeah, if you want to submit, just go to my profile, click on this link, follow the steps right there, and we'll get you up on the screen. So yeah, it's 10 if you want to get on the board, 15 if you want to skip whoever else might be there. But let's go back through the song. We got Colin Craft that we're listening right now. So Colin, let's go back through the top of the song and let's get into the details of it. This is called The Wrong One by Colin Craft. We just saw the music video. And just so y'all know too, all of these VODs are saved to YouTube after the live. So if you would like to go back and check some of the other submissions, or maybe we did a full 30-minute plus consultation on your song, and you want to go back and be able to reference what we talked about, you can find the VOD as soon as we finish the live stream. It'll be uploaded. I believe today is episode 10. We've been doing this for like 3 years, but I just started labeling them. So technically it's episode 10, even though it's like episode 700. So yeah, you can find episode 10 and you can go back through and watch go back and watch your consultation to remind you of things that maybe you wanted to work on if you want to. All right, the wrong one, Colin Craft. Let's get it.
Now I'm here writing a new
Got you, Smokey. I appreciate you.
What it's gonna be, I don't know. I can only write about what I feel inside. Feels so real, you're not by my side. I guess I should dig deep within and find a reason to carry on. I gotta look inside, find the peace that resides. It's about time. I think I should write a love song to hold on to when you're gone. Oh, I think I should just write about life and how love really cuts like a knife.
Dude, this last ending melody right here is structured so beautifully. No, 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 no. That melody shift right there to me on the how love really cuts like a knife. That's like, there's something about that melody right there with your vocal tone that just pierces. Like it is really, really nice to listen to. There's other moments where there's some like melodic shifts and rhythmic shifts that are like a little bit more inconsistent. I really don't mind it because this is a little bit more of a raw structure to your music, and I appreciate that. I don't want this to be like hyper polished. It's not a pop. It's not like a, it's not a Charlie Puth pop record, right? So it needs to have some rawness, some organic texture to it. So I can appreciate that there's some looseness to the structure, but man, that melody and that shift right there in your voice is just beautiful. It's really, really well done. Got you, Smokey. You should be up on the board, ready to go. I appreciate you so much.
You with the wrong one. Life's not meant to be boring.
All right, and honestly, from a mixing standpoint, there's really only like one thing. Again, I appreciate a really raw, organic mix, especially in this style. Like I said, this is not supposed to be Sleep Token or something, right? It's got a really particular sound and tone. I like that it's live instrumentation, real drums. Okay, beautiful, Smokey. I'm excited to break it down. Thank you so much for sending it in. You should, all things willing, you're either coming up next or right after. Just depends on the next submission. But so I want to keep things really, really raw. The only thing that my brain wants to hear a little bit more, solos come in beautifully. The lead guitars come in fantastic. This rhythm guitar to me, underneath is just really, really, really quiet. So it's like I'm barely even like hearing that it exists back there, yet it's kind of the element that drives the whole verse, right? Like when we open up into this verse here, it's like I barely even know that it's there, and I wish I heard, especially on these interludes, bum 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 bum, with like the palm mutes opening up. It's overdriven, it's heavy, but I'm not really getting any of that presented in the mix. And you could always automate it a little bit too. So on your interludes, it's like you're writing the fader a little bit on the interludes. Maybe it comes forward a little bit with a double track. So this guitar, those chugs and those palm mutes come in a little bit heavier. They're a bit more vibrant. And then once the vocal comes in, you tuck them back by 2 or 3 dB. So it's not nearly as prominent. And you carve a little bit of space for it. But I would love to hear that guitar with a little bit more prominence, just because it really is one of the elements that drives the energy of this hook right here. Again, vocal structure is really, really nice, and I want to keep things raw. I want to keep it really organic sounding, but I also want to feel that guitar in the mix.
When you with the wrong one.
because you can barely hear it there. And the last thing you want to do is like lose steam on your interludes here. Like it's a beautiful cello line right there. I like the auto pan of that. But after a while, since you go through a full progression, you do lose like a little bit of energy because there's nothing to kind of like punch it and wake it up and pull you into the next part of the song. You're relying heavily on just hearing this auto dum 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 dum, this auto pan cello that you have in there, which is beautiful. It sounds amazing, but you don't have any of like the rock weight, that grunge and that heaviness to kind of carry you into the next section. So I would love to hear that guitar forward, like in this case, like maybe even like a chunk, 4 or 5 dB, a little bit more energy, a little bit more punch, because it sounds good. And I think it's really like true to the genre and true to what you're doing. So it would be nice to hear a little bit of punch there. But that's really like my one thing that I think could wake this up a little bit. But I think everything else, as far as what you're doing instrumentally and your melodic choices for your hook, I think are really, really nice.
Life's not meant to be boring. They say joy comes in the morning. Wait on a special moment, they say, but why wait when your heart beats?
I would also, yeah, because when you hear that guitar come in right there. So yeah, I mean, I'm wanting to hear that bum 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 bum. Those palm mutes are beautiful. I want to feel it. I want to feel it in the mix. So I would definitely on whatever. I know you have a lot of other music that might very well be the case, but I would love it on this track too. The other thing that I would recommend. Let me hear this really quick. I'm going to back it up just for a second. I have one last thing, and then I'll skip towards the end to the last hook here. Should I send the new master? It depends. I mean, I have time for 2 tracks. I don't know if Rise is going to end up sending in. It's up to them. But I have one more spot on the board if you want it. One more spot on the board. It's a 15 skip. One more spot on the board if you want it. Up to you. All right, let me get into this. I want to hear the end of this verse here really, really quick. Okay, right here.
Life's not meant to be boring. They say joy comes in the morning.
Okay, this is a small. I'm being so picky. This is I can't help it because this is the way my engineering brain works. So I'll take this with a grain of salt. It's ultra picky. Sometimes in the tuning structure of your voice, compared to how raw and organic and natural everything else sounds, to me, I think the retune speed is just 5 milliseconds too fast. And I say that knowing how picky that sounds and how ridiculous that sounds. The reason why I say that is because everything else it's very like mic'd cello, pretty like raw, like rehearsal, garage open drum set, shredding guitars. I'm gonna trust my instincts and I'll come back considerably. Okay, that's up to you. Go for it, man. That's exciting. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for the energy that you have, that it sounds that much better. I would love to take, just because what happens is you start to hear the modulation in pitch and the changes in pitch as the tuning pulls it towards the note on some of your lower vocal runs, and it starts to feel less transparent. I would love for your vocal to feel very just ever so slightly more transparent. So, and most of the time it is, I would say 90% of the time it is. Every once in a while, you'll hear that halfway point between like 2 notes, and you'll hear it kind of modulate between the 2, and you'll hear it kind of in the morning. You'll hear it bounce a little bit, trying to direct towards either one of those different notes, as opposed to it just being corrected manually. So I would prefer either. I say just give it some raw, clean vocals. I mean, that obviously depends on their ability for pitch control, right? So if you're just going to do a raw, clean vocal, and then that might not be what they want, right? This is a taste thing too. Autotune is a tool, and it's a taste thing. So it really just depends on what you're going for. It really just depends on what you're going for. In this case, I do hear a contrast between a really organic sounding production, rock and roll production, pretty raw, and a much more highly processed vocal. And I would love to bridge that gap a little bit. What I would probably prefer for your vocal, this is just me as an engineer, it's not a rule. But what I would probably prefer is no to very little processing on the automatic side, and relying 99% on manual corrections for the vocal. I would use Melodyne for this. I'd have it first in the chain and just correct everything in Melodyne. And just have, if you happen to be a little bit flat or sharp on a note, or you're sliding in a little bit too low, you just slide that note, that blob into place on Melodyne, correct everything manually so it's incredibly natural and transparent. And then if you want to catch some extra notes in there and you want it to be a little bit more polished and a little bit more modern, then I would introduce automatic tuning, but Waves Tune, Antares tuning, whatever you want to use, right? Then you can introduce that if you want to, just to polish it a little bit more and give you a slightly tighter structure. And even then, I would keep it at probably 40 to 50 milliseconds retune speed. Nothing much faster than that. Definitely no faster than like 30 milliseconds. If it's faster than that, it's going to feel much less humanized, and you're going to start to hear that modulation. You're going to start to hear the auto tune working to slide notes into place faster, as opposed to it being really transparent. So I like, that's what I'm saying, is I would keep everything really natural, correct manually with Melodyne so that it's really, really pure and transparent. And then if you want it even tighter and more modern, then auto tune, but keep it really, really loose so it's barely doing any work at all. It's just catching some stray notes and making sure that they still fit in the scale. But you're not really hearing it working right. I hear the auto tune doing its thing here a couple times. I hear it correcting your vibrato a little bit. I hear it correcting some notes at the end of the verse, and I would love for it to feel just a hair more transparent. Two very small guitar range, like we already talked about, guitar dynamics and your vocal tuning structure. Those two things, to me, what it does is it makes your guitar more powerful, more prominent, and a little bit more energetic. So it keeps the energy of the song flowing start to finish. That to me is really important. And the second is it makes your vocal feel as organic and natural as the rest of the production while still being corrected. That to me is the sweet spot. I still want your vocal to be in tune. I mean, if you're an artist, and this is the vast majority of artists, let's be honest, even the pros, even the best, right? Even someone like Ariana Grande, there's still auto-tune on her vocal, and she's a phenomenal vocalist, right? People are used to a fairly polished production structure. So having some auto-tune on there, I think is perfectly fine. It just depends on what you're going for. So I'm fine having it on there, but I would love to bridge the gap between digital processing and a natural feel. So if you can process with Melodyne and still have a processed modern vocal while it feels kind of untouched, that I think is the sweet spot. And I think that's where the magic is for a lot of rock and roll. It's like, you don't want to hear auto-tune on most rock songs, like, unless it's like a really modern progressive metal song or something like that, then you'll hear a bit more of it. But, for a more grungy garage band, kind of a really raw rock structure, you want it to feel a little bit more transparent, I would assume. All right, let's skip to the end. Dude, of course. I appreciate you coming in, Colin. Thank you so much for sending in this track. I appreciate it a lot. I love that. I love it.
When you're with the wrong one, just the wrong one. You were just the wrong one.
Beautiful. Y'all show some love. That is Colin Craft. The song is out on all platforms. So like I said earlier, if you like what you hear and you want to support this artist, go search Colin Craft. You can follow them right here on TikTok, is where they are currently. Go show some love and support. Go stream the song. Go add it to your playlist. Go like the track. Go follow on Spotify and other DSPs. Show them some love and support. Like we always say, go boost their algorithm. Go give them a little bit of a head start. You're very talented, man. I like your writing structure. You have a really cool voice. Great fry and rasp, and great range as well. Very, very nice vocal range. So please show some love to Colin Craft. I believe we're going to close it out, y'all. I believe we're going to close it out here with... Sneaking in. Let me know who that is who just sent in. We do have one more, and that's going to close out the line today. So the line is officially closed. Like a knife. I love that melody, man. I really, really like the melody. It's very catchy. All right, so let's see. Smokey, I got you. I got your email in, and then I got to get the line updated here. So give me just one moment. I got to make sure that I get the right name up on the board. Let me know on whichever platform, either Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, who sent in that 15, so I can just make sure I get the right name up on the board. Make sure I get the right artist name on there. Was that you, Rise of Power? We're the wrong guy. And I got you. I got your Spotify link, Smokey. I just gotta make sure I get the right thing updated here. Let's see. Perfect. Yeah, I'll pull up the Spotify when it comes time. I'm just waiting for this. I got another submission in, but I got to connect it to the right name. So I need to get them up on the board here so I can get the everything in the right order. All right, let me see if this email will come in. I got a song I'm working on right now that needs that straight piano feeling. I love it, man. Piano's such a beautiful instrument. I've played it like my whole life at this point, but there's something about it. I wrote this yesterday. When we were on the live stream. I was messing around with some stuff, and I had this idea, and I said, "Man, I love the way it sounds." I appreciate that so much, Smokey. Thank you for that. It's such a beautiful melody. I love it. All right, let me see. I'm waiting on the initials. See, where did it go? Give me 1 second. I need to make sure. That's it. Okay. I'm waiting on the name to pop up in the chat, and I haven't seen it yet. So I wanted to make sure that I got the right one in here. Okay, let me get this in the right order, and then just make sure. Did you send the email, Ryan? I appreciate you sending in so much, man. I appreciate that a lot. Smokey, I got you on there. Let me get Ryan on the board. I saw the submission come in, but I didn't see the name, and so in the chat. So I wanted to make sure. Okay, let me double check for the email. I'm not seeing the email, but I do want to. I'll refresh and I'll check spam too. All right, so we got Ryan, and then I think Smokey. I think you're going to close this out today. Smokey. It said mail drop, I think. Let's see. It might just take us. I'm going to give it a second. Double check just on your end really quick, just in case that it did go to Track Talk submission. Just double check it and make sure it did go to that exact email, tracktalksubmission@gmail.com. The exact one copied from the form. And then I'll keep an eye out for it here for just a second. Just in case it's not it's just taking a second to load. Where'd my piano go? Da-dun. There it is. Okay, let me refresh. I'll check spam. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet, but sometimes it takes a minute to come in. So I'm going to give it another second. Did you copy the email straight from the submission form? This is for songwriting only. I do calls. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll give it a second. It's not popping in. This is for songwriting only. I do calls, but the music is AI. Don't okay. I got you. But the vocal is yours, or is the vocal AI too? I'm gonna switch to this other piano. I'm waiting. Which one? Is it your vocal or the vocals AI? Which one? I'm still not seeing it. Double check that there's nothing added into the email. I'm gonna go ahead and play through Smokey's, because nothing's showing up here. Yeah, double check the exact email. Yeah, let me play Smokey's. You got your spot. We're not going anywhere. So just double triple check. It could just be MP3s don't typically. I mean, I've gotten everyone's submissions today, so the MP3s don't typically take that long to come in. So yeah, just double check that there's not like a weird added space at the end or something when it was copied. Something weird, right? But let double check a couple of those things. Let me get into this Smokey's. That way I can keep it moving, and then you'll close us out. So Smokey, hop in the chat. It's your time to shine. Let me get your track pulled up. This is artist name Smokey Campbell. Any feedback will do. This is After I'm Gone. It is on Spotify. We got a lot of released music today. We usually get a lot of unreleased stuff. This is After I'm Gone by Smokey Campbell. Smokey, give me all. Have I heard your music before? Remind me really quick if I have. Give me all of the details on the record. Talk to me about production. Talk to me about the mix and where you're getting those things and the role that you play in your music. Let's go, Smokey. Welcome in. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you sending in this track. Yeah, give me all the details. Talk to me about where you got the production. If you're mixing this yourself. I love context. I love details because we're going to go deep. This is After I'm Gone by Smokey Campbell.
I've been walking this road for way too long, and I've been singing the same old song. So it's time to change this road I'm on.
Let's go, Smokey.
So I ain't running this time. Feel so damn.
Okay, nice.
And I ain't giving this up. Feel an empty heart. I'm gonna be here till this sun don't shine here anymore. You still love me after I'm gone. After I'm gone.
Great guitar tone.
After I'm gone. I've made mistakes that I've learned from. And with this heavy
Okay, cool. Nice.
heart, I know I can love. So it's time to change this road I'm on. 'Cause I ain't running this time.
Welcome, Enrico. Thanks for hopping in.
I'm gonna be here till the sun don't shine here anymore. You still love me after I'm gone. Time to change. Let's turn this page. This is real. Willing to give it all I've got for you. For you.
This is nice, man. It's a really, really nice record. You got a great voice. Great guitarist. I mean, the guitar sounds great.
I ain't running this time. It feels so damn alone again. And I ain't giving this up to feel an empty heart. And I'm gonna be here till the sun don't shine here anymore. Will you still love me after I'm gone?
Nice job. Let's go, y'all. Give it up one time for Smokey Campbell. This song came out last year. It looks like this song came out last year. But really nice job, man. Great lyric structure. I feel like your melodic and lyric structure is very consistent. You have like proper repetition and formatting for your song, so all that sounds great. You do have a great voice as well, like you said, no auto tune. But you still have a really, really well structured vocal. Good musicianship too. That lead electric guitar is gorgeous. I mean, really, really nice movement on the vibrato. Great, tasteful counter melodies and riffs throughout the song. I like that a lot. There's like kind of one or two particular things on the mix side I want to address, but we should be able to move. We should be able to move pretty quick because there's not a whole lot depth that we have to go into. There's like two parts on some elements. I think it's on the mastering side, and then another part on the vocal mix side that I want to address. And then beyond that, though, it's a really good song structure. I'm excited to hear more from you, Smokey. You're great at what you do. Rich is on the lead guitar there. That sounds so good. Sounds really, really nice. I'm assuming he does some work as a session musician, or maybe he's just the hobbyist and he's really, really talented. But that sounds like session musician stuff. Like he plays guitar for real. All right, let's run it from the top. After I'm Gone by yeah, he is. Yeah, that makes sense. I know a session musician when I hear one. That's someone who oftentimes when you're just a hobbyist, you're like, yeah, every other weekend I pick up my guitar and I mess around with it. Sometimes you can kind of tell, and you can tell someone who is bled for guitar. You know what I mean? Someone who has put in the blood, sweat, and tears and the calluses to really be able to make a guitar sing, and that's more what I'm hearing here. All right, y'all. This is After I'm Gone by Smokey Campbell. Let's run it from the top. And then we're going to close it out. Let me check really quick. I still don't think Ryan, I got your email. Literally as soon as I was about to say that, I literally just got the email in. So Ryan, you're set. You're going to close this out today. You're going to be the last song. I'm just a professional singer. That's it. And I write the songs. You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job. Let's run it from the top and let's get into it. I was literally about to say, I was like, I still don't think I got it. And it popped up in the email. You're ready to go. I appreciate y'all hanging out today. Thanks for being here.
I've been walking this.
Okay, you can actually hear this. It might not, once again, the compression on TikTok kind of sucks. So this might not represent itself on TikTok as much, but it's very, very clear. If you're over on YouTube or Twitch, you'll hear this a little bit better, probably. It's a more direct signal like what I'm hearing from my interface with the headphones. You can hear this kind of right in the early stages of the song. And I'm assuming, based on what I'm hearing, because it affects everything in the mix, I'm assuming this is happening on the master. I'm going to assume that there is a compressor on the master that's got kind of a mid attack and a slowish release, and it's set fairly low in the threshold. And what's happening is anytime something starts to kind of rear its head in the mix and give you some pumping, or give you a little bit of dynamic, it's squashing it back and it's not transparent. So you hear it happening. So you're getting, 6-7 dB of reduction, maybe more, maybe a little bit less, but you're getting a non-transparent, evident amount of gain reduction on that compressor that's on the master. And caught that after yeah. So like now you're hearing it and you're like, dang. Now, depending on who you're releasing through, if it's through, I don't know who all offers this. I know DistroKid does offer a file swap. Just saying. They do offer a file swap. So if you update a mix, you can swap the files, and in a week or a couple weeks, it'll be back on platforms with an updated master. That is an option through some DSP or through some distributors. I know DistroKid does it, which I have some music released through. I don't know about everyone though. But that can be potentially an option sometimes. But yeah, you can hear that pumping. So the unfortunate side, like structurally, I like so much of what's going on. Like I love the rawness of the acoustic guitar. It's a beautiful double track. Like I mentioned, the lead electric guitar. Check if they have it, because competition's a beautiful thing. So I know DistroKid earlier this year released a file swap. So if you are released through DistroKid, you can swap your files. Check if United Masters, check and see if they offer a file swap now. Because the hard part is like updating ISRC codes and stuff like that with distribution, and making sure if you are with a PRO, a publishing rights organization, that's updated as well. But they made it really easy. Check if they have it. You're on acoustic, dude, chef's kiss, beautiful. But what's happening, the more unfortunate side is that as soon as there's any chance for some vibrancy in this mix, it's choked by the compression. So you go into your hook, and what's strange is it actually gets quieter, right? So you build up the energy on the guitars, you change progressions, your harmonies come in, the vocals, nice and, prominent. There's a lot of great energy and performance behind it. But the end result is it pushes past the threshold of the compression, gets squashed back, and you actually get this like reduction of energy in the most climactic parts of the song. You're like, damn it, I know. Stop telling me. Don't mention it. It's already my pain point. I understand. I have to say it because my ear is picking up on it, so I'm going to mention it regardless. But I would just make sure. It's like I can't help it. It's the way my brain works. But what I would do is see if United Masters will offer a file swap. You can check that. If not, don't worry about it. There's always your next song. I'm of the mindset that just always look forward. Like I have a bunch of old stuff and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have mixed that better. I wish I would have done that better. Like it's stuff I've done for clients. And I'm like, now that I know this, I would have done it, whatever. You can always look back and be like, this could be better. So this will just be that moment for you where you can have some things to triple check going into your future masters to make sure that they're not affecting you too much. But yeah, you can hear that it's suppressing your energy, which is unfortunate because this is like a beautiful, emotional, well-structured song. I'll be more than happy to. I would love to. It'd be an honor in any capacity on the production side or on the engineering side. I would love to. But this, it's a little bit of a shame just because you are missing the emotional expression that happens when the dynamic grows. But what I will say on the positive side is what I hear, I like. So hopefully that's a bit of a consolation, right? It's like what I hear you doing on the guitar, what I hear the vocal doing, the harmony structure, those melodies, lyrics, all of that is really good. So I think the potential is 100% there. You can have a lot of really beautiful things going for you. So let me skip forward. I'm going to hear a couple of little moments in here because that happens right off the bat and it affects the whole song. I don't really think there's really anything else. So I'm going to move through this pretty quick. And then I'll just give you a tip for the master that you can kind of take with you. But I just want to chop through a couple moments of the song, but I think the rest of this sounds really good. It's just that one moment that you're missing out on a little. Simple shaker. It's easy. Like this is just an easy listen. It's nice. It's clean. No complaints. You stayed alive after I'm gone. There might potentially, do you remember what you were recording with? Let me back up a little bit. You stayed alive after I'm gone. Do you happen to be recording with an SM7B? I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing that out there. Just for the mic that you used. Shout out to Pro Tools. I love Pro Tools. Do you happen to be using? If not, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of guessing. And it was a Shure? Was it this Shure? Oh, it doesn't stretch far enough. Was it this one? Was it this Shure? Move back out of the way. It was? Yes. This has happened twice today. Where I've guessed the things perfectly right. It makes me very happy when this happens. Okay, my assumption is for a couple of reasons. One, some of the tonal qualities, and two, the rejection that's happening when your proximity is changing as well. So there's a couple things that are kind of happening at once. The SM7, I have one. It's right here. I have one. I've had it for years. I love it. It's a great microphone. It's a very purpose-built microphone. So it's the wrong mic for a lot of things, but it's also the perfect mic for a subset of things that it does really, really well. One of the things that it does really well is rejection. It's a hypercardioid dynamic microphone. So it rejects things really, really well. The problem with that is if you have really any off-axis movements or changes in proximity, you are going to hear it in the mix because it's going to reject pretty prominently. Which, that's good if you're in a slightly untreated space. It's good because it handles noise really well. It handles the room really well. And it also handles like rock and country and in more powerful vocals really well. You can put a lot behind it. I use this on drums sometimes. It's great. It can handle noise really well. But what I hear a couple times is going into your hook what I'm kind of assuming, and I'm making this up because I'm not watching you sing, right? But what I'm kind of assuming is happening is you're treating this microphone like a stage vocal mic. I don't know if you do performances. I kind of assume you might do some at least small performances, like just like small gigs and stuff like that. You're kind of treating it like a stage vocal mic. You do that makes sense. It makes sense because it's all kind of adding up where you can naturally when you're performing live, you're kind of doing real time mixing with your own performance. And this happens often where you're close to the microphone on the lower parts of your vocal range. And as soon as you, you back off, you lean back a little bit, you allow you shoot up with your vocal when you're reaching for the higher notes in your range, and you tend to change proximity a little bit. That's fine if you have a well compressed large diaphragm condenser, because I can move in close and I can move away, and I've got 2-3 compressors on here in an analog chain, and it's a really, really tight pocket. So I can move around. It's got a nice cardioid spread, and you're not going to hear like a dramatically different change, right? It works really well. On this microphone, the SM7B, the Shure, you are going to hear all of those different changes, right? Because its pattern that it's picking up on is much, much, much tighter. It's hypercardioid instead of cardioid. And it also is going to reject because it's a dynamic microphone. It's not nearly as sensitive as a large diaphragm condenser. So when you're recording with this microphone, I have it on here right now, so I don't know if it'll come through. I don't know if this, let me try this. No, you can't really see that. You can see it on you can see it on Twitch and stuff. But on this microphone here, this will come through a little bit, maybe. Let's try this. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. A little bit, that's fine. Okay, that's the wrong side. So you won't really be able to see this that well on the camera here, but this is the SM7B cage, and then you have the capsule here in the middle, the diaphragm here in the middle. The diaphragm is actually about 2 inches back, right? So here's obviously the microphone that you're singing into, and then if you have the foam over it, or a pop filter or anything like that, that pushes you farther back. But the diaphragm is actually about 2 inches into the microphone. So the actual mic starts about here, as opposed to in here, like I'm maybe half an inch away from the diaphragm on a large diaphragm condenser mic like this. Could be different on like a C414, it's even less. But on something like this, the diaphragm, it's already not as sensitive of a microphone. It's much more mellow. It can take a lot of noise, and you should give it to it. But you're already about 2 inches back from the grill, right? You're already about 2 inches back. So if you then back off the mic as you're singing and you're increasing your energy, your proximity effect is going to be kind of to the detriment of your vocal quality, because as you back off of that microphone, all of the low end is going to leave. All of the low end's going to leave, and all of the sudden you're going to have this like really kind of like thin, tinny vocal because you've lost all of that sensitivity. So you do need to stay pretty close to that microphone. You want control. This just comes down to engineering and gain staging, making sure you're not recording too hot so it's not clipping or anything like that. You want to be a little bit closer on it. Now, give it an inch or two if you need to, like, but you're going to want to stay pretty close. You're going to want to stay pretty tight, because even if you were kissing the mic, like you just mentioned, you're still 2 inches away from the diaphragm. So you still do have a little bit of proximity. You just have to gain stage properly, because if you're putting a lot of energy on it and you're really close and you're clipping, there's nothing you can do on the other side of the mix to correct that. So you just need to make sure that you are inputting properly. Just make sure you're not going 6 inches away from the microphone, because once again, because of the proximity effect, the closer you are, the more low end information you're picking up on. The farther you are, the more it's dispersed, and so it gets a lot thinner, right? If I back here, really all you're getting, and my mic's all super processed, but a lot of what you're just getting is you just hear like high end information, and as I get close, you get all this weight, all this energy behind the microphone, right? That's why podcasts and stuff like this microphone too, you get close and you get this really deep like vocal structure that sounds great. Yeah, kiss the mic, and 100%. That's what they would say. Like if you're doing live sound and stuff, that's what they always, you get an SM58, or like a Sennheiser E35S or something like that. You throw it on stage, kiss the mic, get right up on it, because odds are with live sound, there's going to be gates involved. There's going to be all this other stuff they're trying to mitigate, ringing and feedback in the PA system and stuff like that. You got to be on it a little bit. So I would do the same. Keep your proximity a little bit more consistent, because that's one thing I noticed. Your verses will sound really clean and clear, and then the compression hits and your vocal thins out because of proximity. And so you end up with a hook dramatically less energetic than the verses, even though they're dramatically higher in energy. And so that kind of dichotomy, I think, is what is robbing you of a little bit of steam here. All right, let me move forward a little bit, and we'll close up here. Beautiful guitar, love it. I'm gonna be until this sun shine here anymore. Will you still love me after I'm gone? Y'all, show some love. Show some love. Amazing job. Please show some love to Smokey Campbell. That song is called After I'm Gone. If you like what you hear, that song is out on all platforms, so you can stream it, like it, add it to your playlist, etc. Please show some love. Of course, man. I appreciate you coming in, Smokey, for the first time. Welcome to the family. I look forward to hearing more and more of your music. Son of Synth. Let me double check really quick. Son of Synth. I only have time. I didn't have the list up right now. Sorry, it's hard to manage so many different platforms and screens right now. I really only have time for one more song. Do you mind if I'm going to be live tomorrow. Will you be around tomorrow? Do you mind if I save it to my, I have a detailed like credit list on here for people that had to leave and go to work and miss their song. And I make sure I save it for them so that they can just come back in and I throw them straight back up on the board. Do you mind if I add that to my list? Cause it's already, it's already super late for me. And I was only going to do one more song. Tomorrow, let me see. What is tomorrow? Tuesday. Let me double check. I do have a session, some session stuff I need to get to in the morning. I'm going to assume I'm usually on for a couple hours. So I'm going to assume it's going to be like early afternoon. And I'm Central Time. Thank you so much, Smokey. I appreciate you. All love from this end. I'm going to assume 3 p.m.-ish. 3 p.m.-ish. And I'll be on for, let's say, 4 hours or so. So any time between like 3 and like tonight I was on later. So it could be even later than that. But what you can do, you can also turn on notifications for it. Or I also have a notification group on Instagram that every single time I go live, I shoot a message into the group, just letting them know that I'm about to go live so they can hop in early and get their songs listened to faster. Let me save your credit really quick first. Let me get you on my list. And then literally all you have to do is, as soon as your name pops up in the chat, let me know that you're here. And you're the guy from yesterday or whatever. And I've seen your name in here. Son of Synth is a name that's easy to listen, easy to remember, because I'm obsessed with synths. So that makes it really easy. But let me add you to the list right now. Let me see. Son of Synth. Beautiful name. What a gorgeous name. I shall name my son Son of Synth. I got you 10 credit saved to my list. So you're ready to go. Literally hop back in, let me know that you're here. You'll be straight up on the board and you'll be ready to go. I apologize. It's hard for me to sometimes, oh, that's a great idea. You just reminded me, I just need to add an overlay in OBS that says line closed, and I can just toss it up on the screen in between. That way, everybody knows. It makes it way easier. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for the reminder. Let me make a note of that. I got you on my list. I appreciate you so much. I cannot wait to hear what you send in tomorrow. I'm very, very, very excited, just based on the name alone. Even if there's no sense, it'll still be fine. But I'd be very, very, very excited for that. I got you saved. You're set. You're ready to go. Okay, y'all. Last song of the day. We've got Ryan in the building. Ryan, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Like I said, music is AI. I did vocals and songwriting, basically a two-track. So you generated the production with Suno something, right? Moises, whatever. Generated the production, but the vocals I'm about to hear are your vocals, just so I know what I'm listening to. It's all synth, so I think you'll at least. Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm a bit biased. But I love it already. I'm so excited. I'm in the process now. Before I get into Ryan, Ryan's going to close this out today. I'm in the process now. So I have, just because you'll appreciate the Son of Synth before we get into your song tomorrow. I have, okay, so I have the Poly D, the Mini Log, the SK1, I use the sequencer just, to sometimes to target some other things. The Keystep Pro, the Juno 106, my baby, the Triton LEs, my first synth I ever got when I was like 13 years old. And then on the left side, you can't really see it, but I have a DX21 over there. I have a B1 that I'm selling. And then I have a couple clones, but I have a Prophet 1, a Pro 800, and a K2, which is like an MS-20 clone. That's on the other side of the room. You can't see over here. The desktop modules on this side. And I'm in the process now of trying to like consolidate, because like I have some stuff that I don't go to as often, and they're like a little bit cheaper. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because I kind of want to like sell a bunch and just get like some that I really. So like, just as an example, dude, it's my Candyland. I love it so much. And then Ryan, I promise we're gonna get into your track. It's literally a dream. I love it so much. The Juno 106 is my baby. I think it's one of the best sounding synths in the world. It's a fabulous sounding synth, and I love it to death. The DX21 that you can see some of the keys back here. The DX21 that's back here, it's a 1984 FM synthesis, right? It's the precursor to the DX7, but it doesn't have as many operators, so it doesn't have as much nuance and like depth and character as the DX7 does. And obviously there's so many legendary sounds that the DX7 is so famous for. So I kind of want to sell the DX21. It's like half the price of a DX7. I kind of want to sell the DX21 and maybe one of my other synths, and like maybe the Pro 1 and the DX21. Get a DX7, start to build my Trinity, have the Juno 106, a DX7, and then maybe sell another couple of like the Pro 800 or the K2 and get like a matriarch. That's like my loose, not very well thought out plan. I really want to get a DX7. I really want to get a Moog matriarch, or maybe a sub 37. I think I prefer the matriarch, but anyways, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but I start getting on synths and my brain goes to mush, and that's all I can think about. All right. We have Ryan Boatwright right here in the chat, sent in the song. Ryan, I believe it's my first time hearing your music. Correct me if I'm wrong. And we've had a lot of first time people today, which is amazing. I love that so much. Welcome to the family. If I've heard you before, please remind me. But welcome to the family. So glad you're here, man. I'm so excited to get into the song. The song is called Landslide. This is a master that I'm hearing here. I would love some details, some context. Talk to me. Hold on. I got to prove to TikTok that I'm here. Give me 1 second. I got to do my puzzle piece. Come on. It's all glitchy on this computer. 1 sec. There we go. Go to breakdown that said that there's a lot of cheapers in the 100%. So I kind of want to get to a space where I have. Oh yeah, that's so right. Yeah, sorry, you put it in the chat. I was looking at the email. You already put that in the chat. But yeah, I want to consolidate. I want to consolidate just because I want to be able to move around a little bit easier and open up some space in here. I've got like 4 basses. I've got like 12 synths in here. I've got 3 drum sets and extra. I've just, it's not that big of a room. I don't have space for what I have in here. So I'm trying to like consolidate, get rid of a bunch of stuff and like sell all of the drum sets, get one great one. Sell, you know, maybe 4 or 5 of the synths and have like 5 phenomenal legendary synths. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's where I'm moving towards. All right. It always about works. Exactly. That's all that matters. Literally all that matters. That's why I have some Behringer stuff and I have nice Roland stuff. Like what inspires you? What gets the creative juices flowing? Ryan, it's your time to shine. Songwriter that uses Suno for music. I sing, but really just looking to write. Okay, so focus here. The focus here is vocal structure songwriting. Landslide by Ryan Botry. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Production here is AI. It's generated, but the vocal should be Ryan.
A kind of twisted fate when my eyes double took me over there in her direction. A slow motion sprint I only get sometimes when I'm getting chased in my dreams. As the scene played out, she caught me with those fiery eyes.
Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate you so much.
All control unloaded from my brain to my body, paralyzed and buckled my knees. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split by the spell that she casted. Can't ignore, wanted more to my core, and there was nowhere to hide. All my plans up and ran, hit the fan for as long as it lasted. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split, taken out like a landslide. Blindsided by a head-on collision with a heartbeat of pure perfection. I'd lost all senses and found myself somewhere on the wrong side of town. I made a fatal mistake when we locked eyes, looking for some sort of reaction. She caught a case of bug fever and I realized I was
some
the
good structure
one
here.
she was hunting down. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split by the spell that she casted. Can't ignore, wanted more to my core, and there was nowhere to hide. All my plans up and ran, hit the fan for as long as it lasted. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split, taken out like a landslide. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split by the spell that she casted. Can't ignore, wanted more to my core, and there was nowhere to hide. All my plans up and ran, hit the fan for as long as it lasted. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split, taken out like a landslide. Venom bit, heart split, taken out like a landslide.
Let's go. Yo, give it up on time. Give it up on time. I like your voice too, man. I like your voice too. And I really do like your writing structure. There's a couple little rhythmic things that I think would just take it over the edge because it is very catchy. There's really good structure to it. But there's one little thing that is just going to make it a little bit harder for people to remember and a little bit harder for them to learn the melodic and rhythmic structure. So I want to lean into that little part of it, specifically on the hook, because it is very catchy and has a ton of potential. I do think you are a really good songwriter, and I like the structure of this a lot. So let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. I'm not going to break down the mix at all because it's generated, so I'm not worried about that. But I just want to focus solely on songwriting structure. It's one of my favorite things to talk about too. I love songwriting. So let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Let's break it down. Shout out to not Brian. Ryan, combine the words. Ryan Boatwright. Thank you so much for sending this in, man. I appreciate you a lot. All right, closing us up. Let's go.
it fade when my eyes double took me over there in her direction. A slow motion sprint I only get sometimes when I'm getting chased in my dreams. As the scene played out, she caught me with those fiery eyes of lies and deception. All control unloaded from my brain to my body, paralyzed and buckled my knees.
Okay, so this last, we'll talk through a couple little structural things. So you have a really, really nice melodic change there. That little high push that you do, beautiful. I love that melodic change. And then going into the hook where your energy increases, you bring it back down. Again, it's just the way my brain works. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the right thing. It's just an idea. So I'll throw out a lot of ideas. Feel free to ignore half of them if they don't connect with you. But I kind of like the idea of keeping your same lyric structure or similar lyric structure. Sometimes when you change melody, you might need to rephrase slightly to make sure that the syllable counts are the same. But yeah, or switch, right?
Unloaded from my brain to my body, paralyzed and buckled my knees.
So like what I would maybe do is switch that. Do a don't phone in on my knees. I can't you know what I mean? So it's like it's just flipping what you already have there. So you have your consistent first two, like 8 measures, right? Your first like 2 full 4-bar counts, right? Your first like 2 measures there. Keep it consistent because I think those melodies and those rhythms are good. And then your switch would be, oh, I'm gonna follow my knees. And then on the last one is when you do. You do like the last big vocal there where you increase your energy and you push towards the end. That to me just makes a little bit more sense structurally. So how that fits with your lyric would be, let's see.
Unloaded from my brain to my body, paralyzed and buckled my knees. I've been
Paralyzed in both of my knees. Is that the lyric? Paralyzed in both of my knees. Yeah, so it'd be kind of there. Paralyzed in both of my knees. That. Paralyzed and buckled my knees. Oh yeah. Paralyzed and buckled my knees. Da da da. Like right there. That to me, that's where I would switch your melody. So I do think rhythmically, I think you can keep the same, if not very, very similar lyrics there without any filler and just push that same da da and keep that one melody. And then boom, you're right into the last little segment right there or going into the hook rather right there. That one little switch immediately makes that verse feel a little bit more cohesive for me. Let's get into the hook. This is fun. I like this. Again, this is like some of my favorite stuff to work on. It's such a fun part of the music creation process.
eyes of lies and deception. My knees, I've been hit, venom bit, heart split by the spell that she casted. Can't ignore, wanted more to my core, and there was nowhere to hide. All my plans up and ran, hit the fan for as long as it lasted. I've been hit.
Okay. Now, this goes for all of the hooks. This is just an idea. Like I said before, I don't feel like I need to, reiterate it too much, but feel free to keep I want you to stay authentic. I want you to stay creative and honor your original ideas if they feel like they really connect with what you're going for. Like, what's your vision for the song? You're the songwriter, you're the artist, right? What I feel like here is, so you have this great syncopation to the vocal. Whatever the vocal melody is right there. Love the syncopation. Then you have an early hit of the same syncopation, but what it does, which I think as a musician, I can appreciate it and I like the swing of it and I like the way that it comes in early. But I think as a consumer, it might be kind of difficult on the first listen that most people only give you. Most people don't give you a whole lot of chances with their music. It might be too hard to grab onto, where it might be better to repeat the same rhythmic structure. All you need to do that is pause for one count, literally one count, and then start again with the fresh melody. So it would be basically, let me hear the first part again. So it keeps the exact same first melody, exact same first rhythm. Nothing at all changes there. Great high push with your vocal. Love the syncopation. And then you would start exactly the same. I think you can do it with the same lyrics. I think you can. Let me hear the hook again.
And there was, I've been hit, venom bit, heart split by the spell that she casted.
Da, dun, dun. So instead of dun, 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 so you're coming in early again. So you have, I've been hit, dun, dun, dun. So I would start it the exact same way.
I've been hit. Venom bit, heart split by the spell that she cast. It can't ignore, wanted more.
So see, so you're, hold on. I think you just paused the second line. Let me hear it again. It's going to take me a second.
By the spell that she cast. I've been hit, venom.
I've been done. So you're starting on the one, dun dun dun, instead of dun. So here's the difference. So it's like 1, 2, 3, dun dun dun. How that's straight on. That's what makes it so catchy, because then you switch and you swing from that, and it gets your head moving, and you're leaning into it. Has a great feel. And then the second time you do the hook, it's 1, 2, 3, dun dun dun. See, it comes in early before the hit. So I would make sure your second one also starts on 3, dun 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 and dun 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 dun. It's that half right there, dun dun dun. And if you hit right on that immediately, what it does, similar to kind of the energy of the first verse right there, is it makes the hook melody and rhythm structure, although the lyrics change, it makes the rhythm structure a perfect duplicate past each other, so much more catchy, so much easier to look like. What I'm like, since it's the last song, especially tonight, what I'm going to be humming for the next 45 minutes once I leave the studio is going to be, it's so catchy. It's such a good repetition. So what is going to lock that into people's brains and create that earworm is an exact repetition of that same melody. Now, you can float away from it a little bit. You don't have to be robotic about your writing. Of course, you want it to be creative. You want it to be fresh. That's also what you can do with ad-libs too. Is changing the melody slightly, but the rhythm structure is so important. Because if you revert that hook, that second part of the hook, and it comes in that one count early, I do think it's just going to be that much harder to remember. Still sounds good. Like, there's nothing about it that sounds bad. It'll just be a little bit harder to remember. It won't be nearly as catchy. Delay it one count, repeat it just like you do the first part. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. All right, let's go to the second verse.
Yeah, I was blindsided by a head-on collision with a heartbeat of pure perfection.
Love the structure here. It's similar to the first one, so you get that familiarity. Great.
I'd lost all senses and found myself somewhere on the wrong side of town. I made a fatal mistake when we locked eyes, looking for some sort of reaction. She caught a case of bug fever and I realized I was the one she was hunting down. I've been hit.
Same thing here. I don't think, I would encourage you to do something different than the first verse here. I would encourage it, but I'm running into the same thing where you build energy and then kind of let it tame, and then you cut instrumentation completely, because that's what happens in the beat. That's not a negative thing necessarily, but I would find a way to shift the energy there a little. I would maybe even like cut the beat and have it just be one big da 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 da. You know what I mean? Like have a shift. Yeah, the shift. So maybe on the first one, right? So on the first one you da 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 da. Maybe the first one you do something in that vein, and then maybe on the end of this one, da 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 da. I've been hurt. Like maybe end it slightly different, so you get the familiarity, you get the structure, but you end it in a way that's like a little twist, so it doesn't feel robotic. It doesn't feel like you're like looping vocal structure over. Just give it that little bit of a lift, a little bit of a change there. To me, same as the first verse, gives it a little change, but you get a little more power behind your ending vocal, and then stack your hook, and you're good to go. Let's go second hook. This is fun, man. This is cool. It's a cool song structure. I like it.
Heart split by the spell that she cast. It
Dun,
can't
dun,
ignore,
dun,
wanted
dun,
more
dun,
to my
dun,
core, and there was
dun,
no
dun, dun,
way
dun.
out.
So it's so close, right? So obviously you'll do the exact same thing. If you change the structure of the hook, you'll change it on all the hooks. Obviously that makes sense. But yeah, it's just one delayed hit, and then you do the same melody structure at the end there.
Hands up and ran, hit the fan for as long as it lasted. I've been hit, venom bit, heart split, taken out like a landslide.
So that would delay a little bit too. So you'd be dun, like a landslide. So that's gonna delay there too. So right now you're coming in early on the landslide part too. If that's all delayed one count later, then it's gonna come right on that chord. Taking out like a landslide. and that's going to be a little bit more locked to the grid, which I think that'll sound punchier too. I think everything will kind of align just by shifting that back right there. I mean, you could even to demo it for yourself. You could probably even just try shifting the vocal back and see if it fits. That might not work at all, but you honestly might be able to just like chop the vocal on either side of those two hooks and shift the second part back by one count, and it might just fix it. Just crossfade it in, you'll be good to go. All right, let me hear the outro here. Same hook. Just for you to be able to, sometimes it's good to do that just to be able to hear the demo and reference it. And then you can always go back and retrack professionally and in your own mic and get it sounding where you want it. But yeah, it's worth just like trying it out so that you kind of hear where it would sit and see if you like it. You might not like it. You might be like, shifts the energy in a way that I don't love it as much, and you keep it the same. But just, just an option. Is the mix okay for the 2-track? Let me back it up to like the main section. It's a little, so we were talking about this a little bit earlier with a different artist. It's a little, well, we call like a U-shaped kind of inflated mix. So to me, it sounds a little exaggerated on the far end, right? For, I think a pretty organic, again, I know how it was created, but for a pretty organic, punchy rock country record, I would prefer it being a little like warmer. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. A little warmer, more balanced mix, right? So right now it sounds as if the mids were pulled and the high and low feel inflated. I would rebalance that a little bit. So I don't know if you are, but if you're doing any inflating on the far low end and high end, like boosting those highs and lows, I would rebalance it slightly. And then what you're pulling in the mids, make it a lot more subtle. So if you want to create space for your vocal in the 2-track, where the fundamental of the vocal sits, I would just do that between 600 and 1500 hertz, kind of like the main pocket. Like just as an example, this also depends on some of the plugins that you have. I don't know, obviously, what kind of plugins you have access to. But if I'm doing this is my vocal, but let's say this is the 2-track, I would just take this pocket right here. So let's move it down here. I'd probably go around 800 hertz because I want it to affect between 6 and 1200 hertz. I'm going to inflate the Q here a little bit and then pull this down. So this is, I mean, you can hear it in my vocal right here. This is what the beat sounds like. So it's not, again, not bad. It's not like really bad, but you start to hear this and this because I've exaggerated this here, as opposed to it just feeling a little more natural and a little bit more well-balanced. So I would just, whatever you're pulling, make it subtle and make sure it's not too broad. Perfect. All right, let me bring it back over here. Oh no, we got to the end right there too. Yeah, show some love, man. I appreciate you sending this in, man. I also appreciate actually hearing your vocal on this and hearing your song structure over the top as well. I appreciate that a lot, man. You're really good at what you do. I think your writing structure is great. You've got a good voice. You understand melody. You do understand repetition. There can be some little polished things to make it just a little bit more catchy if that's what you're going for. But overall, man, I feel like that's a really, really good start for the song, and I'm excited to hear you push it forward a little bit more, man. Y'all show some love one more time for Ryan Boatwright over on TikTok. That is going to do it for tonight. The line is closed. We will be back live again tomorrow afternoon. So if you got more music or you're wanting to do revisions and come back in for a consultation, make sure that you get them ready. Just a quick reminder, last thing before we hop off the live stream, for those of you who don't know, shameless plug. My name's Torvik. I am a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. It's what I've done for about 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So if you are ever interested in any of the services that I offer, whether that is a full production package, whether that is a professional mix and master or session work in the form of, I have acoustic guitars, electric guitars, bass, I've got live drums, I've got tons of synths, vocal tracking, so on and so on. So if you're ever interested in the services that I offer, just reach out to me through Instagram, through TikTok, send me a DM, or of course you can always go to my link and click on the link tree the link that says theobsidiankey.com. That is my website, and you can find the contact form from there. And I would love nothing more than to get with you. We can talk budget, timeline, and what it is specifically that you are looking to do on your record. I would love to work with y'all. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for being so vulnerable with your music. It is kind of a scary thing sometimes to send it out to the ether, to the world for judgment and criticism and whatever. So I hope that everything that we went through today was, immensely helpful for y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully we'll see some of y'all tomorrow as well.